What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 9 Centigrams Chapter 147 Too much bragging. Jin Twink was furious, like a tyrant who was provoked by his courtiers, and he shouted in a low voice. Presumptuous. A lowly miscellaneous cultivator, let you feel the power of the king. He held the key to open the king's treasure house in his hand and twisted it gently like opening a door. Immediately, bright red lines spread out, gradually covering the entire sky. The powerful magic power fluctuations spread, and a uniquely shaped long sword appeared, triggering the hurricane that swept the sky, exuding the momentum of destroying everything. This is my strongest noble phantasm, the strongest sword capable of slicing the entire world, deviants. Submissives who do not obey the king's orders have no value in existence, give me death. A domineering smile appeared on Jin Twinkle's face, and he stared cruelly at Li Zan opposite. In the chat group, everyone looked at Jin Shining's deviant sword in shock. Tokiomi Tohsaka appeared. This is the King of Heroes' strongest noble phantasm, the deviant sword, which has the power to split the entire world. Shiki, the golden lion, said, it's not like Whitebeard's power to destroy the world, it's all blown out, right? Li Zan. Nonsense. As for the power that claims to be able to destroy the world, 8 out of 10 are blown out. Not to mention Whitebeard, even the 3 ancient weapons do not have the power to destroy the world. The gold thief Wu Nan. I believe this, the known Poseidon before, 420, is only able to control the large sea kings. How can a group of large sea kings destroy the world? Howard Stark. Unless they kill all the creatures in the world and then commit suicide en masse. Let alone destroy the world, they can't even restart the biosphere. Matuye. Don't underestimate the King of Heroes' good-looking sword, that magic power fluctuation is too terrifying. Irisfield. I feel that the sword has not yet reached its peak state. It seems to be parsing the rules of this world. If I interrupt him now, it can reduce the difficulty of defeating him. Li Zan. No, there's no need, if he doesn't let his full power explode, how does he know what despair is? He will always be the king, and I will give him abstinence, Wong addiction. Lancelot. Is it really okay to underestimate the King of Heroes? According to legend, that sword can destroy everything. Li Zan. Calm down. Uchiha Madara also boasted that his perfect body, Susanoo, is unrivaled, and he can destroy everything with a single blow. The result? It's not that he was beaten by Senju Hashirama in various ways. Senju Zu said in surprise. Nani? If it's 9 tails, its destructive power is indeed terrifying. But if it's just a full-body Susanoo, I can defeat it without even using a magic trick. Senju Tobarama sneered. Full-body Susanoo can destroy everything in one blow. No wonder there are so many powers that can destroy the world, and feelings come from this. Madara, you can fight with your full-body Susanoo. It's been so many times, why haven't I seen you destroy the world? Uchiha Madara said angrily. Nonsense, Group Lord, when did I say that a full-body Susanoo can destroy everything with a single blow? Li Zan. In what I see, the original future, you really boasted like that. Uchiha Madara. If you say that, then I have nothing to say. Outside world. Jin Shining held up the stray sword, looked at Li Zan who was indifferent below, and said with a sneer, why don't you speak? Is it because you are afraid of seeing the terrible anger of the king? Li Zan shook his head and said, no, I'm waiting for your charge to end. Isn't the deviant sword able to destroy the whole world? I want to see and see. In addition, I also want to remind you that young people should not be too far away, and don't put the destruction of the world on the list all day long, mouth. Li Zan sincerely persuaded Jin Shining with the attitude of an experienced person. If your goal is to destroy the world, then I suggest you do it in stages. For example, set a small goal first, how about destroying the entire Fuyuki city? I think you have enough to eat even this small goal. Jin Shining's face instantly flushed, and he said angrily, ignorant fool, don't you know that restraint exists? If there is no restraint, I'll shatter the stars to show you now. Li Zan said with contempt. Inhibition? I know, the will of the world consists of 2 parts, the will of the planet, Gaia, and the will of mankind, Alaya. But I have a question, they just isn't it part of the world? Li Zan sneered. You want to destroy the world, and Gaia and Alaya, which are part of the world, will restrain you. Is there anything wrong with this? Is the premise of your destruction of the world that the world cannot resist? Glittering. Li Zan laughed. If this is the case, then I can pull out any heroic spirit and boast that he is in existence that can kill the King of Heroes. Glittering gold. Li Zan continued taunting. Am I right? If you don't resist, any heroic spirit can kill you. Your deviant sword is also an artifact that destroys the world? Jin Twinkle couldn't help it, roared and swung the deviant sword, roaring. Presumptuous. Heaven and earth. Deviation star. Jin Shining roared and swung the deviated sword, everything hollow passed by, and everything disappeared like a phantom. Turn everything into nothingness. Watching the devastation caused by the deviant sword, Li Zan instantly entered 6 pads mode, where the 6 pad suit and the truth-seeking ball appeared instantly. The jet black truth-seeking balls lined up in front of her, and then turned into a jet black shield, blocking the underside of the deviant sword. Pung! When the magic power of the deviant sword met the truth-seeking ball, two completely different disintegrating forces were in a frantic confrontation. But it didn't take long for the magic power of the deviant sword to be swallowed up and disintegrated. The deviating sword's power to destroy all things did not cause damage to the truth-seeking ball. Nani? Jin Shining's face suddenly became serious. What is this noble phantasm? Li Zan held the six-paths scepter and smiled. Truth-seeking ball. He has a similar ability to the deviant sword, and can also turn everything into nothingness. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama stunned. Truth-seeking ball. This thing has such power. I thought it was just a decoration. Senju Tobarama complained. Brother, that thing is not simple at first glance, right? How could it be just an ornament? Senju Hashirama plausibly said, because it doesn't look ordinary, it can be an ornament. Can something that looks very frustrating be an ornament? Senju Tobarama. Brother, you are so smart. Li Zan. Truth-seeking ball. This is the blood snares obtained by the fusion of the 7 attributes of chakra. It can turn everything it touches into nothingness, and only the power of fairy magic and 6 paths can resist. Uchiha Madara. In other words, the destructive power of the deviant sword has reached the level of the blood snares? Li Zan. Maybe yes, maybe not. Shuiji eliminates Chentong and can turn everything into molecules. It is difficult to evaluate the power of the deviant sword from the effect alone. Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. Ha ha ha. Chen Shi. If it's true, Chen Dun also has the ability to destroy the world. After all, he can break everything into molecules, and this power is not a joke. Shiki the Golden Lion smiled and said, Jia ha ha ha, people in the pirate world are okay to say, after all, the basic defense of our bodies is not a joke. But people in the Hokage world are miserable, and the physical fitness of ordinary people can't stand ordinary people. Human attack. Sword God Ryoma. I remember, Uchiha Madara seems to be killed by Senju Hashirama with a knife in the heart. Although he has been rewritten and resurrected, it also proves that he can be stabbed to death by ordinary people. One Piece Roger. Any ordinary ninja can boast that he has the ability to kill Shira in the ninja world. Sure enough, there are too many lies in this world. Howard Tucker. I think it's not that there are too many lies in this world, but that there are too many bragging rights in this world. It's a little embarrassing to believe someone else's bullshit. Senju Hashirama. Is there a similar legend in the world of Hokage? Li Zan. Yes. Legend has it that Sage of 6 Paths created the world with a divine sword called the Amazuma Spear, which is in my hand. Of course, this was also blown out. Everyone needs to know, first after 6 Paths came this sword, and the world was before 6 Paths. Outside world. Li Zan beckoned, and a pitch-black truth-seeking ball fell into Li Zan's hands, transforming into a strange sword like a genetic spiral. Jin Jing frowned and asked, what kind of weapon is this? Li Zan replied. In another world, this divine sword called Amanuma Spear is considered to be an artifact used by immortals to create the world. Of course, like your stray sword, its power and achievements are all blown out. Glittering. Wei. With a wave of the Tianzuma spear in his hand, Li Zan smiled and said to Jin Shanning. The oldest king of heroes, let me send you back. Do you want to close your eyes and wait to die? I will give you time to prepare yourself mentally. Jin Twinkle snorted coldly, raised the deviant sword again, and slashed at Li Zan angrily. The king won't sit still. Li Zan shook his head and said, it's really troublesome, my lord, it's time to quit the addiction. The Tien Swamp spear swept across, directly knocking the deviant sword into the air, and then slammed it on Jin Twinkle's body, allowing the heroic spirit who had stayed illegally to return to the Hall of Valor. Below, Li Zan appeared out of thin air, looked at Kodomine Kirei 3.7 and said, you're not afraid at all when your allies are killed? Kodomine Kirei shook his head and said, I'm not afraid, so I won't run away. Also, seeing my allies wiped out is a pleasant thing. Li Zan said speechlessly, you are getting more and more serious. With a move in his heart, Li Zan asked with a smile, by the way, you haven't looked for Emiya Kuritsugu during this time? I think you should be very interested in him. In the chat group, when Irisfiel heard this, she couldn't help but ask, Master, what do you mean by that? Li Zan. Literally, haven't you always suspected that Kodomine Kirei's excessive enthusiasm for Emiya Kuritsugu might contain an element of love? Alice Phil. Therefore, your ability to know everything is too unfriendly to others. Howard Stark. No way. Another love triangle. Li Zan. No, not this time. Outside world. Kodomine Kirei said with a smile. I am indeed very interested in Emiya Kuritsugu, because we are two extremes. He has always pursued what is beautiful to ordinary people, but I have a special love for things that ordinary people hate. Chung. But he's now a bereaved dog with a broken spine, and the beliefs that once interested me are gone. Since thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 148 Robber, this is my home. After dealing with the offbeat Kodomine Kirei, Li Zan found hero Emiya and took him to the Einsburn family. Magic enchantment? Li Zan stood on the periphery of the Einsburn family's site, looked at the magic barrier in front of him with interest, and shook his head after a while. After all, it is the product of the degradation of magic, and there is not much to be concerned about. Raising his hand and pointing at the magic barrier, the power of 6 paths directly destroyed the barrier in front of him, making the Empress around him overjoyed. He wanted to pick up his daughter many times, but was blocked by this magic barrier. As expected of a magician who defeated heroic spirits. Heroes of the palace still don't know Li Zan's identity, and only regard him as a terrifying magician. In the castle, the security guards of the Einsburn family were controlled by Li Zan's eyes, and only Emiya Kuritsugu's daughter Ilya remained conscious. What do you want to do? Ilya looked at Li Zan angrily and asked angrily. It's impolite. Li Zan unceremoniously put his hand over Ilya's head and rubbed her hair into a chicken coop. Ah! My hair! Ilya screamed frantically, and her 2 short hands and short legs fluttered vigorously. Li Zan laughed and distanced himself from her, and said to Emiya Kuritsugu, who was hesitant, "This is your family's business, you can solve it yourself." Having said that, Li came to Zan in front of Ahad, the patriarch of the Einsburn family, and used illusion to control him, asking him to take him to get the family's android technology. In the chat group, Senju Tobarama saw the artificial human technology of the Einsburn family through Li Zan, and couldn't help but exclaim. This form of artificial human is not much different from a real human, right? Li Zan replied 15. Yeah, as long as it's not flawed like Ilya and Irisfield did, other androids are fine. If this technology is extended to civilian use, it will definitely cause problems. Sensational. Howard Stark thought for a moment with the old hooligan's thinking, and immediately understood what Li Zan meant. Indeed. The technology that can customize a wife, can it not be a sensation? But this thing is just like human cloning, and it involves issues of morality and human rights. Irisfield said angrily. Is there an artificial human technology to make a wife? It's too embarrassing. No. Li Zan. So I'm just talking about this possibility, and I'm not planning to promote it to civilians. But if you agree, I can make a cyborg exactly like you and give it to Emiya Kuritsugu. Alice Phil. Li Zan teased Irisfield with a laugh. The hero of the palace lost his wife in the 4th Holy Grail War, and even lost his secretary and lover. The long night is also very hard, and it is not bad to give him a wife to comfort him. Of course, whether you give it or not depends on your attitude, madam. Irisfield said speechlessly. I refuse. Li Zan was surprised. No way? You can tolerate his lover to get along with him day and night, and now you are reluctant to give him a wife? Irisfield defended. It's different. Mayaku is different from others, she is like Kuritsugu's shadow. Howard Stark. So you're agreeing that they're living under your nose? You're so sensible, ma'am. Li Zan. There is no way, after all, she is not yet 10 years old. She married Emiya Kuritsugu less than a year after she was born. If you say that, Emiya Kuritsugu is okay too. Li Zan was a little speechless. Alice Phil was only 1 year older than his daughter Ilya, and the artificial human technology really involved some moral issues. Outside world. Emiya Kuritsugu found Li Zan with a disappointed face, told him that Ilya did not want to recognize him as his father, and said that Emiya Kuritsugu killed Irisfield himself. I see, Li Zan pondered. It seems that Ilya has been reduced to the little Holy Grail like Irisfield, and she has stored the magic power of the Great Holy Grail in her body, and it is the magic power polluted by the evil of this world. Emiya Kuritsugu was stunned. How could this happen? Li Zan didn't answer, and brought Emiya Kuritsugu to the front of Ilya, and the little loli was looking at him and Emiya Kuritsugu angrily. Li Zan opened Rinnegan, his powerful pupil power saw through the illusion, and then pointed at Ilya, and a small Holy Grail pattern appeared on Ilya's stomach. In the little Holy Grail, the figure of a woman stands in it. It is Irisfield. However, at this time, her body was pitch black, and the red light from her eyes was filled with undisguised malice. The evil of this world. Emiya Kuritsugu was shocked, and his face became ugly. Emiya Kuritsugu was so impressed by the evil of this world that he knew it too well. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama. Is this tainted magic? It really gave me an uncomfortable feeling. Senju Tobarama commented. This thing feels very evil to me. Evil more than Nine Tails chakra, even more evil than Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan's chakra. One Piece Roger asked curiously. What is the evil in this world? Li Zan. Just like its name, it's all evil in the world. Howard Tucker. I don't understand, how can all the evil in the world come together? Mutant Black Emperor. I bet that this is the product of human beings. But for any unimaginable evil thing, there must be a human factor in it. Doflamingo. Fufu. I appreciate the idea that all evil comes from humans. Whitebeard. Probably impossible. Li Zan. No, it's possible. The evil in this world is a person, an ordinary young man named Angola Manuel. Because of the decision of a village religion in the village, he was chosen as a sacrifice by those believers. After Uchiha Madara learned the truth about infinite Tsukuyomi, he has always been sensitive to the word sacrifice, and asked without hesitation, what is this sacrifice for? Li Zan. Bearing all the evil in the world. The village religion defined him as evil and made him bear all the evil in the world. Then kill him, and want to kill all the evil in the world in this way. Li Zan. It's ridiculous that all the evil in the world has not been eliminated, but the evil of this world, which carries all the evil in the world, has been born. The evil of this world is the product of human hypocrisy and ignorance, and he has a deep hatred for human beings. Tohsaka Tokiomi suddenly said, as far as I know, the evil of this world was once summoned by the Ainsburn family. It must have been after the Holy Grail War that the Holy Grail was polluted, right? Li Xuan. That's right. The Ainsburn family has a big problem. They were originally a group of artificial humans abandoned by magicians. The meaning of their existence is to reproduce the third magic. Their way of thinking is flawed, so I decided to take over here and give them a new ideal. Senju Hashirama. A new ideal? Li Xuan. That's right. It doesn't make sense to let them continue to fiddle with the third magic. After all, they have worked hard for hundreds of years without any results, and now they are constantly making trouble. Let them help study the science that is beneficial to social development. Excellent. Senju Hashirama. After a long time of trouble, you just want to find a bunch of obedient tool people? Irisfield. There is indeed a problem with the Ainsburn family, and I have no problem with how the group owner handles it. But how do I deal with the evil in this world in Ilya? Li Xuan. Seal it. Sealing is the best way to deal with this kind of intractable things. Irisfield. Can't you kill him? Li Xuan. Of course, but it's very troublesome. I hate this kind of troublesome things, and you can't afford me to solve this trouble. I'm doing this for you now, and it's already a good deed. Irisfield said embarrassedly, then trouble the group owner. Li Xuan. Don't worry. I'll wait for a few powerful members in the group in 2 days, maybe I can easily solve this trouble. Now seal it up and wait until I find a quick and economical solution. Method to eliminate it. The evil at this time is somewhat similar to Black Zetsu, and both are indelible existences. Instead of wasting time with them, it's better to seal them up and throw them aside, and then come back to kill them when you have enough strength. Outside world. 8-sign seal. Li Xuan slapped Ilya's stomach with a slap, and a complicated pattern imprisoned the little holy grail in her body, sealing it in Ilya's body like a seal-tailed beast, and a new holy grail, Jinchuriki, was born. Very good. Looking at his masterpiece, Li Xuan nodded with satisfaction, and at the same time reminded Ilya of the precautions of Jinchuriki, the holy grail. Humph. He killed my mother, and I won't admit him. Ilya glanced at Emiya Kuritsugu angrily, then looked at Li Xuan. It doesn't matter. Do you admit that he has nothing to do with me? Just be happy? Li Xuan glanced at Ilya blankly, and suddenly his heart moved, and he said with a smile, but I personally recommend that you don't work against Way 420 Palace Kuritsugu. Ilya said dissatisfiedly. Why? Li Xuan gave a realistic reason, because you can't beat him. Elijah. Li Xuan shook his head and sighed. I know a guy named Fire Fist Ace, who is a stubborn guy. Until one day he was beaten more than 100 times by an old white man. Ilya asked nervously, how's it going? Li Xuan laughed. He just recognized that old Whitebeard as his father. Elijah. Number way. Ilya was a little worried. Emiya Kuritsugu wouldn't beat her so rudely, right? Turning her head to look at Emiya Kuritsugu, who was eager to try, Ilya's face collapsed, and she snorted twice and stopped talking nonsense. Although your father didn't do anything to save your mother was not killed by your father. I can guarantee this. Don't listen to the evil of this world in that little holy grail. Rubbing Ilya's hair into a chicken coop again, Li Xuan left here happily listening to the little girl's scream. Before leaving, Li Xuan announced that this was his home, and asked Emiya Kuritsugu and Ilya to be polite and stay here for a long time if they wanted. Robber, this is my house. The grief-stricken Ilya was held on her head by Emiya Kuritsugu and let out a cry of the weak. In the chat group. Senju Hashirama, sir, the research on wood-style cells has come to fruition. Senju Hashirama was stunned. So soon? You've been talking to us in the chat group. Where did you get the time to study wood-style cells? Senju Hashirama said proudly. Stupid big brother. I am now the reincarnated body of Mutu, the endless chakra. I will create a group of shadow clones and let them study and study. I am here to chat with you, and agree don't delay my clone to work outside. Namikaze Minato. Indeed, Earth reincarnation has huge advantages. The hidden dangers of creating too many clones are not a problem for Earth reincarnation. The multiple shadow clone technique, which I didn't use very much before, is now being used. There is no fear. Senju Hashirama proudly said. Of course. One of the purposes of my creation of Mutu reincarnation is to use my pile of forbidden technique. The antiphagocytosis effect of forbidden technique has no pressure on the body of the Earth reincarnation. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 149 The Essence of the Blood Following the Boundary. In the chat group. Li Xuan. What kind of results did the research on wood-style cells have? Senju Hashirama. We found 3 grades of wood-style cells. The lowest grade wood-style cells can be used by ninjas with strong psychic powers. Senju Hashirama wondered, my wood-style cells are also graded? Senju Hashirama. No, it's not your wood-style cells from Big Brother. There are 2 sources of wood-style cells. One is passed down from 10 tails Jinchuriki, such as Big Brother's cells. The second is from the divine tree. Energy directly transformed, such as White Zetsu. Uchiha Madara. The wood-style cells in White Zetsu are not as good as Hashirama's wood-style cells, I'm sure of that. Senju Tobarama. That's right. The wood-style cells in White Zetsu's body are much worse than the big brother in terms of using wooden shields and providing vitality. These are the two levels we divide. Between these two levels, there are also wood-style cells by Konoha Shinobi by Yamato. Lee Zan. Senju Hashirama's wood-style cell is the strongest because it was handed down from Ten Tails Jinchuriki and developed by strengthening Ashura Chakra. Yamato's wood-style cell is weaker because his wood-style cells are derived from Hashirama cells fused with ordinary cells, and have undergone a round of weakening. White Zetsu's wood-style cells are the weakest, because they are massively engineered from the God Tree. Uchiha Madara. The wood-style cells of Yamato from Konoha Shinobi are actually stronger than the wood-style cells of White Zetsu. It shouldn't be. The wood-style cells of White Zetsu have also been strengthened by Hashirama cells. Lee Zan. No, it didn't, you forgot? Black Zetsu deceived you in the process of making White Zetsu with Hashirama cells. You have never strengthened White Zetsu with Hashirama cells. And White Zetsu's body is so fragile, after they can't afford the strengthening of Hashirama cells. Senju Tobarama. How do you know? I didn't tell you the results of this experiment. Lee Zan. This is what I saw in the original future. Yakushi Kabuto strengthens White Zetsu with Hashirama cells in Yamato, which means that wood-style cells in Yamato are stronger than wood-style cells in White Zetsu. Uchiha Madara. Yakushi Kabuto also has Hashirama cells? Lee Zan. That's right. Yakushi Kabuto has genuine Hashirama cells in his hand, but he didn't use them. Instead, he used Yamato cells to strengthen White Zetsu. This is enough to show that Hashirama cells are not suitable for White Zetsu. The only possibility is that the strength is beyond White Zetsu's tolerance. Senju Hashirama. Tobarama, how did you discover that wood-style cells are strong and weak? Senju Tobarama. Because of my colleague Orochimaru, who changed his body without a word after learning that White Zetsu has a long life. Doflamingo. Fufu, now he gets what he wants. Lee Zan. Yeah, White Zetsu itself has an extremely long lifespan, plus the wood-style cells in the body can provide huge vitality. It is not a problem for his body to use it for hundreds of years. And White Zetsu itself does not have any problem. Gender, you can change your body freely, and it is more suitable for Orochimaru to be male or female. Howard Stark. Can White Zetsu change his body freely? Lee Zan. Yeah, you can be both male and female, and you can look like anyone. What, do you have a bold idea? It's useless, because no matter how much you think, it's useless if you can't put it into practice. Howard Stark. Way to go. Senju Tobarama. After Orochimaru took possession of White Zetsu's body, the whole person's strength improved a lot. At this time, I realized that the muton cells in White Zetsu's body are not just as simple as providing vitality and wood-style ninjutsu. Uchiha Madara. White Zetsu's body is very strong. Match the level of Sage body to Sharingan. Their body level is at least Sangoyu. Namikaze Minato wondered, isn't it possible? If White Zetsu's body can match the 3-Tomo Sharingan, wouldn't Yamato's body match the Mangekyo Sharingan? Their own strengths are obviously weak girls. Senju Tobarama. That's what I found out too. White Zetsu's bodies are strong, but their spirits are too fragile. Their fragile spirits can't control their huge physical energy at all. The same is true for Yamato, they can't play at all. Unleash the power of the wood cells in your body. Senju Tobarama. Orochimaru's soul was damaged due to his multiple reincarnations, and he also did not have enough power to exert the power of the wood-style cells in White Zetsu's body. But even so, his strength has been greatly improved. Senju Hashirama. Ha 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 ha. It's so funny that there is such a thing. I don't know what kind of fighting power White Zetsu will have when his physical strength is fully developed. Lee Zan. Although I don't know what kind of fighting power White Zetsu's body energy will be fully utilized, I have some information here. Uchiha Madara was speechless. I bet this is the message you saw in the original future again. Lee Zan said proudly. That's right, this is my advantage, it's useless for you to be envious. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, Master, what is your master's message? Lee Zan. Black Zetsu, do you remember? It is an incarnation of the will made with yin-yang escape, it does not have physical energy. The White Zetsu's body controlled by him, the wooden pass used can fight against a cage-level ninja led by Ninja Squad. Uchiha Shisui was surprised. To be able to fight against a ninja army led by a cage-level ninja, even with the blessing of wood style, this strength is definitely at the level of cage level. Uchiha Madara said suspiciously, even if Black Zetsu's mental will is very strong, it can exert 100% or even 120% of White Zetsu's body's energy, but it shouldn't be so strong, right? White Zetsu's body's energy corresponds to only Sangu Jade. Lee Zan pondered. The body of White Zetsu that Black Zetsu used at that time may have been strengthened by Yamato's cells. Uchiha Madara suddenly said, that's no problem, Mangekyo Sharingan's strength is enough to do that kind of thing. It's a pity that Konoha Shinobi, that powerful body strength can't be exerted. Senju Tobarama said helplessly. Who said no? He obviously has the wood-style cells that can conquer the world, but he can only exert his strength in greening. Senju Hashirama wondered, what's the point of the 3 levels you found? Senju Tobarama said excitedly. This discovery is of great significance. We can artificially control the intensity of wood-style cells, and then match different intensities of wood-style cells to people of different strengths. The failure of the wood-style cell experiment was not because of the acceptance of wood-style cells. Can't the people of me bear the power? Uchiha Madara. So it is. As long as the level of wood-style cells is weakened to the level of Ergoyu and Yiguyu, even the mental power of an ordinary ninja can control this power. But what is the use of transplanting such a weak wood style? Senju Tobarama. Of course it makes sense. Those who have transplanted wood-style cells are equivalent to having the sage body, the blood successor of the Senju family. The wood-style cells in their bodies can be evolved through continuous development. Uchiha Madara suddenly realized. Good you Senju Tobarama, I didn't expect you to think of such a method to revive the Senju clan. Are those who transplanted Mutong cells to join the Senju clan? Senju Tobarama said cheerfully. If they want to, I have no opinion. Of course, if they don't want to, I won't force it. The 2 boundaries of wood style and sage body are there, and Senju is there. Li Zan said helplessly. Senju Tobarama, how do you ask me to say hello? This is not what I need you to study. Li Zan is a little speechless. No matter how good grafting is, it is still weak and powerless in front of genes. Li Zan knew this in his previous life. Senju Tobarama. Research on a potion that will allow ordinary people to have sage body and wood style right away. It's too difficult. Li Zan. I didn't ask you to give me the results immediately. In short, this direction cannot be changed. The transplantation of wood-style cells that you are studying is just a matter of discarding the basics. Now, you should have understood the essence of learning and following the limit? Senju Tobarama. Understood. When the blood Jijing was synthesized, the special chakra caused the change of the lineage factor. The gene recorded this change and passed it on to the offspring. This is the reason why the blood Jijian is inherited through the blood. Li Zan. That's right. The genes of ninjas who have a blood-like limit will change. Otherwise, how can they pass on the blood-like limit they have to their descendants? The reason for their genetic mutation is the stimulation of chakra when they synthesize the blood-like limit. If the master has this kind of stimulation, we can artificially create the owners of the blood and the limit, including the owners of Mutong and Sage body. Even the changes in Otsutsuki Kagaya, explained by science, are the powerful energy of the chakra fruit that led to her upgrade, which changed her life level. Mutant Black Emperor. What you research is very similar to what I researched in my previous life. Can you let me join the laboratory? Li Zan. I don't have your life information, that is, your body tissue, so I can't reincarnate you. Ding. The Mutant Black Emperor sent an exclusive red envelope, Marvel World Pass, to the group owner Li Zan. The refreshing level of the Mutant Black Emperor exceeded Li Zan's expectations, and he simply gave Li Zan the pass to the Marvel world. Mutant Black King. Does the group go to my world? It's a pretty wonderful world, and I also want to know what happened to my world after my death. Li Zan. Marvel world. Yes. But the water in that world is very deep, and I have to be fully prepared to go. The Mutant Black Emperor said a different way. The water in our world is very deep. I admit that mutants have many magical abilities, but this should be nothing to the group owner, right? Howard Stark. Black Emperor, don't underestimate our world. There are mythical characters in our world, and it's not as simple as it seems. Li Zan. That's right, even the Hokage world has aliens like the Otsutsuki clan. And your Marvel world is no exception. But unlike the Hokage world, the Marvel world has more aliens on Earth. What a powerful presence. The Mutant Black Emperor asked curiously. Is there such a thing? I never found out when I was alive. Can the group owner give me a general explanation? Li Zan. Of course. There are magicians in your world, and the magic in that world has not degenerated into magic. Magicians have great power, and the Supreme Mage is the best among them, and I am not sure to win him now. Mutant Black Emperor. Isn't it enough if they don't find out? The Otsutsuki clan in the Hokage world didn't find you either? Li Zan. That's because the Otsutsuki family lacks attention to this planet, while the Earth in the Marvel world has many big people paying attention. The Mutant Black Emperor said understandingly. Then you really have to be fully prepared. What is the group owner going to do now? Li Zan. Simple. Take down the Hokage world first, and then go to the pirate world to see. If the reality is mature, the pirate world will also be taken. Push Hokage first, then Pingai City. Only me Li Zan, the king of all worlds. Shiki the Golden Lion refused to accept. Why is the Hokage world ranked ahead of our pirate world? Li Zan. Because of the 5 major forces in the Hokage world, 3 of them have surrendered to me. One of the remaining 2 has been pushed down, and the remaining one is about to surrender. I occupy this place, and it is more difficult to rule. Small. Howard Tucker echoed. In terms of the difficulty of domination, the world of pirates is indeed larger than the world of Hokage. Not to mention, the bullshit terrain of the ocean-dominated country island alone can make the difficulty of domination skyrocket. Li Zan. Yeah. Since the pirate world is so difficult to rule, why should I rush to replace the world government? After I have enough men to help me manage the world, it's not too late to replace the world government. Whoever is the ruler should take the responsibility of management. If the management is not good, it will bear the infamy and affect the prestige. What's more, Li Zan is a kind person and doesn't want to cause trouble to the people of the pirate world because of his poor governance. Therefore, the position of the ruler of the pirate world is placed with celestial dragons first, so that they can establish a bad image that will be compared with Li Zan in the future. When he completes the unification of the Hokage world, he will have a steady stream of troops. With the further development of science and the ability to rapidly train powerful men, everything will be ready. Can Li Zan run the world alone without enough men? Cannot. Even if he could, he wouldn't do such a thing. Because Li Zan himself is a person who likes enjoyment and hates trouble. What's more, how did the Prime Minister die, don't you know? Exhausted. Unify the world, the king of the world. Although Li Zan is interested in this kind of thing, it is not his task. He doesn't need to be in a hurry, he doesn't need to rush to do this. As for celestial dragons or something, although Li Zan doesn't like them, as long as they don't take the initiative to appear in front of Li Zan and make trouble with Li Zan can pretend they don't exist. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 150 Unified Will. Konoha Village, Meeting Room. After Li Zan returned to the world of Hokage, he immediately brought the main characters of the world to a meeting. With Flying Thunder God technique, a convenient and fast ninjutsu, even people from different villages can get together in a short time. I called everyone over for a meeting today. The theme of the meeting is only one: unification of the ninja world. Li Zan sat on the main seat, his majestic eyes swept over everyone present, and said loudly, "Konoha village is under control." Namikaze Minato said with a smile, "Lord Li Zan has shown his strength in front of the villagers, no one dares to oppose you." Although Namikaze Minato is the Hokage of Konoha, it is the decision-maker of Konoha-sized affairs. But anyone who has fought against Li Zan knows that Li Zan is the master of the village. Ghost Lantern Moon was the second to speak. "There is no problem with Kirigakure, and I am waiting for the order of Lord Li Zan at any time. Thanks to the efforts of the two Mizukages, Kirigakure and Terumi Mei, the current Kirigakure has been integrated, and all the power is assigned to them." Terumi Mei, who learned about Li Zan's strength from Ghost Lantern Wanyue, had already given up a little thought in his heart and followed orders from his heart. Scorch-style Yikang pondered. There was some civil unrest in the village before Sand Shinobi, but it has been calmed down now. However, there were a lot of Sanagakure ninjas killed and injured in that civil unrest, and we may not have many troops in the war. Jue Kang eradicated 4th Cage and others, and forcibly suppressed the voices against him in the village. Although he successfully mastered the village, the loss of Sanagakure's power was not small. The words of Cloud Shinobi Village. The two from Wooden Golem said embarrassedly, although many Cloud Shinobi Village ninjas are willing to surrender, the senior village leaders headed by 4th Raikage are not willing to do so. Li Zan wants to make the two made by Wooden Golem a new movie, and let 4th Raikage bow down. However, the members of the Yaoi clan occupy the high-level positions of the village. How could they allow two outsiders from Wooden Golem to meddle in the power of Cloud Shinobi Village? Life and death do not follow? In that case, let them die. Li Zan sneered and said contemptuously, "Those idiots full of muscles, maybe they still can't see the current situation. They think they are important? Actually they are not." The two of them were stunned by Wooden Golem, and asked hesitantly, "Execute them all?" Li Zan said indifferently, "Otherwise, I have already given them a chance to surrender, but it's a pity they don't know how to cherish it themselves. In this case, there is no need for them to live. For the peace and future of the ninja world, they can only be sent to die." The two were confused by Wooden Golem and asked, "Can you give me another chance to persuade them? I think I should be able to persuade them this time." Li Zan shook his head and said, "No way." The two from Wooden Golem wondered, "Why? You gave me a chance to persuade them before." Li Zan shook his head and said, "It is because I gave you the opportunity to persuade them to surrender, and now I will stop you. Cloud Shinobi Village is a ninja village centered on the Night Moon clan, and the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village recognize this clan." Two from Wooden Golem. "So what?" Li Zan explained. "Cloud Shinobi Village is more united than other ninja villages. If the Yaoi clan is not destroyed, other Cloud Shinobi Village ninjas will continue to form a group around them, which is not a good thing. They have seen my strength, but they are still alive and dead these days, which is enough to see their hatred and complaints against me. I am afraid that they will pretend to surrender and cause me trouble after they come out. Maybe you will say that no matter how much they cause trouble, they can't affect me, but I want to ask you. If the unwilling Yaoi clan rebels, who will really suffer? Those innocent civilians. So, why should I risk my people who are willing to submit to me for these enemies who hate me? I'm not a fool like Sarutobi Hiruzen. They deserve to be tough in front of me?" Li Zan said with a sneer, and everyone was speechless. Li Moran said, "Cloud Shinobi Village is used to being tough and arrogant. They think that if they are tough and arrogant, others will let them. Times have changed." The two of them, Wooden Golem, smiled wryly. "If we do this, I'm afraid that the ninjas who are willing to surrender in Cloud Shinobi Village will be dissatisfied and make it more difficult for me to manage them." Li Zan said, "As long as you express your dissatisfaction with this matter, you can execute them directly. You must remember one thing. All the ninjas in Cloud Shinobi Village are my captives, and I have the right to execute them. Namikaze Minato asks, doesn't Cloud Shinobi Village become empty shelves? I'm afraid it will take many years to recover. Li Zan laughed. If you can't recover, then I won't reply. Now I tell you, my first decision to unify the ninja world, demolition of all ninja villages and establishment of the only ninja village. Namikaze Minato was stunned for a moment, and couldn't help but ask, Lord Li Zan, are you serious? Ghost Lantern said hesitantly. Taking down the original ninja village will make the ninjas dissatisfied, right? Zhou Yekong said slowly. There will definitely be dissatisfaction, but it should be suppressed. Senju Tobarama shook his head. Are you sure this won't cause trouble? Li Zan laughed. Why do you all think that the ninjas will be dissatisfied with the demolition of the ninja village? Indeed, the ninja village where they have lived for many years will definitely have feelings, but the feelings must bow to reality. Senju Tobarama asked curiously, what does this mean? Li Zan said, I ask you, what did Shinobu village look at when choosing a place? Senju Tobarama pondered. The location of Konoha village was decided by the eldest brother and Uchiha Madara. I don't know how other shinobi villages chose the location. Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon said, the location of Kirigakure was chosen by first Mizukage, and I was not involved. Li Zan smiled and said, that's good, since that's the case, I'll change the question. If you were asked to choose a place in Ninja Village, how would you choose? Senju Tobarama and the others looked at each other and asked one after another. Li Zan said, after thinking about this problem, you should have found it too. Ninja Village is equivalent to a military base, and its most important thing is safety. Ninja villages are built in places that are easy to defend and difficult to attack. Kirigakure is foggy all year round, Cloud Shinobi Village is built on high mountains, Sanagakure is built in desert valleys, and Iwagakure is built in Gobi Desert. These places are safe as shinobi villages, but will it be comfortable to live in? Of course not. After I unify the ninja world, there will be no more wars in the ninja world, BFDH, and there is no need for the ninjas to continue to live in the ninja village with harsh environment. So I give them another place to rebuild the ninja village. What's wrong? Ghost Lantern said. The environment in Kirigakure is really not good. If it can be changed to a suitable place to live, maybe the ninjas will support it. Yi Kang smiled and said, then use this statement to promote it. It should be able to convince many people. The two asked by Wooden Golem, what will happen to the original shinobi village after we leave? Li Zan sneered. Of course it is completely destroyed. Only by completely destroying them can we eradicate the will of fire, the will of water, the will of stone, a bunch of messy things, and the ninja world doesn't need so much will. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama said dissatisfied, no way? Lord of the group, do you want the will of fire I left to disappear? Li Zan, of course let it disappear. If the ninja world does not have a unified will, the war will not really end. Those messed up wills are one of the sources of conflict. Uchiha Madara sneered. The group leader is right. Heisalama, the will of fire has become a stumbling block to the peace of the ninja world. If so, let it go. Senju Tobarama persuaded. Big brother, don't be attached to the so-called will of fire. Sarutobi Hiruzen talks about the will of fire all day long, but you know all the shit he did. Senju Hashirama sighed. I understand what you're talking about, but I'm just a little reluctant. Outside world. Senju Tobarama asked, Lord Li Zan, where do you plan to build the only shinobi village? Li Zan replied, of course it is built in the center of the ninja world. All ninjas come here, and at least they have to register here. Otherwise, they will not be recognized as ninjas, and they will be hunted down by the only ninja village. Gather all the ninjas together and let them live together, so as to smooth out the hatred between each other. Unify the ninja organization and hunt down the non-stellar ninjas, so that there will not be another organization that fights with the only ninja village. Except for the only ninja village, other places are not allowed to have ninjas to gather and live together. Once found, they should be disbanded immediately, and those who are disobedient will be sent to wipe them out. If the ninja world, which has been in war for thousands of years, wants to truly achieve peace, it must have a unified will and a stern king. That's me. Li Zan looked cold and stern, and the others couldn't help but look in awe. Although Li Zan's approach is somewhat inappropriate, this is the first man in 1,000 years who has the strength and determination to unify the ninja world at the same time. The decision made by Li Zan, even they felt the operability and far-reaching significance. Iwagakure hasn't surrendered yet. It just showed the intention to surrender, but it has not really surrendered. Give them a deadline, and they will be destroyed if they don't obey. Some small and medium-sized ninja villages are hooking up, and they seem to be preparing some plans, and I heard that it is related to the Grass Ninja Village. Grass Ninja Village? I remember there was a girl from the Uzumaki clan there. Minato, please go there. What about the establishment of the only ninja village? It is not an easy thing to build a big city where millions of people live. Who said that? I have already chosen the place. The transportation is convenient, the terrain is flat, and the area is vast. It is not a problem to build a city with tens of millions of people close to the water source. I'm not talking about siting, but building. Building is even simpler. We have developed a technology for ordinary people to transplant mutong cells. Order all the people who transplanted Mutong cells to build the only ninja village. This is the price they need to pay for obtaining Mutong cells. Having wood-style ninjas build as quests. Great idea, saves on material and labor costs. More than that, it also made those wood-style ninjas exercise their abilities and train them to make money without fighting, which will be precious in peaceful times. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama said depressedly, "Is it inappropriate to use my eldest brother's wood style for construction? It's bad enough for Konoha to use wood style for landscaping." Li Zan unceremoniously criticized, "Second Hokage, there is something wrong with your thinking. It is honorable to kill people with wood style, and shameful to use wood style to build a better life for people. I think you need to accept thought reform." Senju Hashirama said solemnly, "Tobarama, put away your frivolous thoughts. If possible, I hope that my team will never be used in combat." Li Zan, "That's right, in the future, the ninja world will be peaceful, and there will be more places where ninjutsu is used for people's livelihood. Second Hokage, you'd better have a mental preparation, so that you won't be able to bear it later." Senju Tobarama said speechlessly, "Okay, since the elder brother has no opinion, let's do it. I will speed up the research on wood-style cells, and genetic modification too." GG. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 151 Otsutsuki's Decision of the Autumn Wind. Konoha Prison. Hyuga Hiyashi came here with a group of ninjas from the Hyuga clan, and found 4th Raikage and others who were imprisoned. "Why, are you all here to persuade me today? It looks like someone from the Hyuga clan. I'm not familiar with you guys." The imprisoned 4th Raikage sneered when he saw Hyuga Hiyashi and others. "These days, the two of you were either persuaded by Wooden Golem himself or sent others to persuade him, and he was used to it. Aren't you familiar with us?" Hyuga Hiyashi smiled. "Back then you sent messengers to Konoha, and in order to take my Hyuga clan's eyes and frame the blame, you forced my younger brother Hyuga Hizashi to death." 4th Raikage suddenly realized, "I remembered, it really happened. Did Konoha send you here to play the tragic card?" 4th Raikage believes that Konoha sent Hyuga Hiyashi to persuade him, trying to persuade him with the bad things he did back then. This trick Yamato used in the original book, but unfortunately there is no bird use. 4th Raikage said that what you said is bullshit. Why should lousy bully people with strength? Sorrow card. Hyuga Hiyashi half smiled. "I'm curious, don't you even remember what you did wrong?" 4th Raikage said proudly, "There is nothing wrong with my heart. There are countless things that I have done to develop Cloud Shinobi Village that make me proud." Hyuga Hiyashi smiled and said, "Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you feel guilty or not. Whether you feel guilty or not, it can't change the ending of being beaten to death by me today." 4th Raikage was stunned for a moment, and sneered. "Why, you want to do something to me? I doubt whether you have the courage." Hyuga Hiyashi laughed and said, 4th Raikage, do you think the current Konoha is the same as the previous Konoha? I tell you, you have all been sentenced to death. 8 trigrams 64 palms, eyes wide open, Hyuga Hiyashi let out a therapeutic laugh, and the mighty chakra condensed in his palm, facing 4th Raikage as a set of 8 trigrams 64 palms. Even though 4th Raikage is one of the few trainers in the Hokage world, and his physique is amazing, a set of gentle fist will still cause him 5 injuries and blood. The chakra of Hyuga Hiyashi entered his body through the 6 paths on 4th Raikage, destroying his internal organs and meridians recklessly. This is the mystery of the gentle fist of the Hyuga family, which makes 4th Raikage miserable. Didn't kill me directly? It seems that you still dare not. 4th Raikage endured the pain and sneered unceremoniously. No, if you kill you directly, it will be too cheap for you. You let me watch my brother die, and I will let you suffer the same pain. Hyuga Hiyashi looked indifferent and said in a cruel tone. What do you want to do? 4th Raikage was taken aback. Didn't I say it just now? Those of you who refuse to surrender have all been sentenced to death. I just kindly let you die last, and send away the members of your Yaoi clan and the ninjas who are loyal to you one by one. Hyuga Hiyashi looked mild and smiled at 4th Raikage. Impossible. How dare you do this? 4th Raikage panicked. Was this the Konoha he knew? True. Li Zan's sweep of Cloud Shinobi Village left him in awe, and there was a hint of surrender in his heart. But then being imprisoned in Konoha and being persuaded to surrender every day, the ingrained arrogance of 4th Raikage reappeared. Pity. Times have changed, and Li Zan won't get used to him. Li Zan's strength and attitude are beyond his imagination. Hyuga Hiyashi was given special care because of family feud, and personally sent 4th Raikage and others on the road. Watching 4th Raikage and others being executed, Hyuga Hiyashi was in a good mood and sent them on the road with a smile. Not only the 4th Raikage, but also the Yaoi clan, the ninja clan that turned Cloud Shinobi Village into a family property. This ninja clan that has no blood succession but is still powerful, has also come to an end today and has become history. Hyuga Family Station. Hyuga Hiyashi returned home and suddenly felt that the atmosphere was not right. It's too quiet, what about the people in the family? A man with white eyes appeared in front of Hyuga Hiyashi and said with a smile, Hyuga Hiyashi, you are finally back. Hyuga Hiyashi's eyes narrowed, and he was immediately ready for battle, asking, who are you? With white eyes and a clean forehead, this is the hallmark of the Hyuga clan. Otsutsuki Autumn Wind. Hyuga Hiyashi, we are all sage of six paths Otsutsuki Hagoromo's younger brother, a descendant of Otsutsuki Hamura. I heard that your Hyuga clan also divided the clan and branch house. Compared with our group of orthodox descendants who stayed on the moon, you are all branch houses. Otsutsuki Autumn Breeze smiled and sat down and looked at Hyuga Hiyashi. Hyuga Hiyashi asked cautiously, you're not here just to tell me this, right? Otsutsuki Chofun smiled and said, of course not. I'm here to ask you to help me complete the ambition of my ancestors. To destroy this decadent world built by Sage of Six Paths, and then build a perfect new world. Hyuga Hiyashi mocked. Destroy this rotten world. You must be wrong, not to mention whether you can defeat Lord Li Zan. This world is obviously getting better and better. Otsutsuki Chofun's expression changed, and he shouted angrily. Nonsense. That outsider resurrected 10 tails and became the Jinchuriki of 10 tails. Everything he did is accelerating the degeneration of this world, and this world must be destroyed. Serious infighting broke out in the Otsutsuki clan because of their attitude towards the ninja world. Some feel they should merge with Tensigan, destroy the ninja world and build a new world. Others think they don't need to do anything. In the end, the part of the people who wanted to destroy the world won because they were more extreme. They contributed their own eyes and merged into a large Tensigan. They opposed the slaughter of their clansmen, but it also led to their sparseness, especially in the Autumn Wind generation, close to genocide. Through the large Tensigan, the Otsutsuki clan can vaguely observe the ninja world. Even though their senses were very vague, they could sense the huge and terrifying chakra on Li Zan. This level of chakra is like the sun in the dark night, and anyone with a little sense of ability can easily spot him. After learning what Li Zan had done, Otsutsuki Chofun began to fear. If Li Zan really made the ninja world better, what was the sacrifice of their Otsutsuki clan? As if seeing his own sacrifice became a joke, Otsutsuki Chofun couldn't help it, overturned the original plan to wait for his son to grow up, and personally came to the ninja world to arrest Hyuga Hiyashi and his 2 daughters. Because Li Zan has never concealed the chakra fluctuations on his body, he can easily find out Li Zan's whereabouts. Then he found out that sometimes Li Zan's chakra disappears into the ninja world. Otsutsuki Chofun believes that Li Zan has the ability to go to other planets in the universe, which strengthens his confidence in destroying the ninja world. After all, if Li Zan stayed in the ninja world, even if there was Tensigan, Otsutsuki Chofun would not have the confidence to fight against Li Zan. As for the moon, the weapon that destroyed the ninja world, Otsutsuki Chofun also did not have enough confidence that it could withstand Li Zan's attack. Ask for flowers. In short, if Li Zan stayed in the ninja world, their plan to destroy the world would never have succeeded anyway. The strength of 10 tails Jinchuriki, Otsutsuki Autumn Wind still has some understanding. Besides, Li Zan can go to other planets, which means that Li Zan will have other places after the destruction of the ninja world, and will not stay here forever. Otherwise, if Li Zan stays, then their plan to rebuild the new world after the destruction of the world will be in vain. Another reason why Otsutsuki Chofun is so anxious that he can't even wait for his son to grow up is because of Li Zan's transformation of the ninja world. If Li Zan devoted too much effort to the ninja world, the destruction of the ninja world would hit him very hard. When Li Zan goes crazy, if they find out who are sleeping, they will die. Calm Li Zan's investment in the ninja world is not large, and destroying this world as soon as possible diverts his attention, which is the result of Otsutsuki Chofun's careful consideration. Follow me. Otsutsuki Chofun smiled slightly, and the pure white eyes flashed with azure blue light. This was the pupil power extracted from the eternal Tensigan, and the transfer seal was left on Otsutsuki Chofun, which allowed him to have the power of Tensigan for a short time. Hyuga Hiyashi's expression was sluggish for a moment, and finally the 2 sisters Hyuga Hinata and Hyuga Hanabi came out with expressionless faces, and they were both controlled by Tensigan's power. Otsutsuki Chofun took the Hiyashi family of 3 and quickly left with the power of Tensigan. At this time, Li Zan had already gone to Pirate World, and Senju Tobarama and Orochimaru were also taken there. Namikaze Minato went to Kusanagi village, Ghost Lantern took Jiraiya to Iwagakure. Although there are cage-level ninjas like Tsunade and other elite Jonin in Konoha village, but their perception ability is not very strong, so they did not find Otsutsuki Autumn Wind. In the chat group, Namikaze Minato, I've lurked into the Kasuga Ninja village and discovered some secrets of the Kasuga Ninja village. Many small and medium-sized shinobi villages are conspiring to use the weapons left over from the Sage of Six Paths era to deal with us. Li Zan. The Box of Bliss? Leave it alone. It's just an overblown weapon. Let them do it with confidence, let them find all those who oppose me, and solve this trouble at once. Senju Hashirama. Minato, did you meet the Uzumaki people in Kusanagi village? Li Zan. Encountered, yes. A mother with a daughter had a miserable life in Sound Ninja village. Because the mother has a special physique and can be absorbed by chakra for healing, Sound Ninja village treats her as a healing bag. Senju Hashirama was furious. Damn. To use such a cruel way, this is using other people's vitality to supplement their vitality. Uchiha Madara sneered. Ninjas without the protection of the village are so miserable, this is the sadness of the ninja world. Li Zan. Be at ease, this kind of thing will disappear in the future. At second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon, have you found your descendants? Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. I found it. That kid is too miserable, because my ghost lamp family's unique secret technique has been studied. I'm taking him to clean up Iwagakure now, and practice him well on the way. Ghost Lantern Moon in the Hokage world, standing in front of Ghost Lantern Shuei at this time, scolded him mercilessly. My Ghost Lamp clan has so many powerful secret arts, you don't learn so many excellent water styles, why are you so obsessed with a few broken knives? You are not allowed to use knives in the future, on. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 152 Unsatisfactory Expectations and Rechange. Pirate World. In the huge experimental base, Xuan, Senju Hashirama, Vinsmoke Judge, Kaiser, Orochimaru and other scientists gathered together to study Hashirama cells. It's an amazing genetic sequence. This unique gene sequence gives the cells terrible energy. Sir Xuan, where did this kind of cells come from? Caesar looked at the experimental report in his hand, and said with emotion, Hashirama cells are completely different from the cells he has studied before. In order to develop the best suits, I have investigated the lineage factors of all races in the world. The lineage factor of this kind of cell is undoubtedly the ordinary human race. However, the arrangement of the lineage factors is different from that of ordinary people. Vinsmoke Judge looked at the experimental report in his hand, his eyes also lit up, and the scientist's instinct to study the unknown was stimulated. Vinsmoke Judge was forcibly arranged by Xuan to be a scientist here, and he was originally unhappy. But after staying for a while, he found that this kind of life was not bad. After all, he has no way to resist, so he can only choose to enjoy. Very fragrant. Caesar shook his head and said, this kind of cell is somewhat similar to Kaido's cells, which can make them divide and replicate, but they cannot be cultivated into a living person. That is to say, this kind of cell cannot be used for cloning. Judge nodded. Their advantage is that the cells are strong, and the disadvantage is the same. The power of individual cells is too strong, and the difficulty of combining them into a whole will skyrocket. Make an analogy. Cells are individuals, while clones are 421 forbidden troops. Ordinary cells are ordinary people, and it is easy to grow them into an army. Intimidation and inducement, high-pressure training, there is always a way to make them form an army. Powerful cells are strong, aggressive and unruly. It is basically impossible to train them into a forbidden army. Rocks tried to gather many strong men together to form an army, but only got a pirate alliance with constant infighting. Powerhouses are temperamental and want them to cooperate with each other and forbid each other, unless they have power far beyond them and shatter their arrogance as powerhouses. Uchiha Madara confused Hashirama cells because of his strong spirit. He forcibly suppressed the resistance of Hashirama cells, forcing them to fuse with the cells of the spot. Even with Uchiha Madara's spiritual power, he had trouble taming the Hashirama cells, and the other party made Hashirama's face on himself. Xuan laughed. There is no way to grow these cells into clones, so what? I never asked you to grow them into clones. What I need you to do is to understand their genetic arrangement and find a way using external stimuli. The genes of ordinary people can also become this sequence. Caesar said with a headache. This is a big project that cannot be completed in a short time. Li Xuanyi said. It seems like you have completed the task in a short period of time. Which task did you complete in a short period of time? Caesar was speechless. It was true. Li comforted Xuan and said, I will leave a few shadow clones here to guide you, and work hard. After a while, I will capture Vegapunk, the smartest scientist in the world, as a colleague for you. Caesar got excited like a cat with its tail stepped on. Vegapunk? Xuan glanced at him lightly and asked, what's your dissatisfaction? Caesar was instantly angry. No dissatisfaction. Xuan taught. It's a fact that he is better than you. Don't always engage in these conspiracies, understand? Arrange Senju Hashirama and Orochimaru as colleagues for Caesar and Judge, while leaving a few shadow clone to coordinate their relationship and guide their work. Xuan ontology left here. Soon after, Crocodile, Diamond Yoja, Aokiji, and Black Arm Zephyr, all of whom were brought into a laboratory by Xuan. Diamond Yoja looked at the surrounding scientific equipment, inexplicably frightened, and couldn't help but ask, Lord Xuan, why are you bringing us here? Xuan glanced at them, shook his head and said, looking at the similarities between the four of you, you should be able to guess the purpose of me bringing you here, right? Black Arm Zephyr laughed. Probably because of our disability? Other than that we have nothing in common. Aokiji smiled and said, Allah, that's right, all four of us are short of arms and legs. The group leader brought us here. Is there a way to solve our broken limbs? Xuan nodded and said, yes. Regarding your amputated limbs, I have two options here. One is to clone your limbs with your own cells. The second is to clone your limbs with this kind of cells. Aokiji pondered. Are the limbs cloned from our cells the same as the original? Xuan shook his head and said, no, because your cells are a bit strong. You must weaken them to a certain extent before cloning, otherwise it will be difficult for them to form complete limbs. Black Arm Zephyr echoed. I know this. Vegapunk also thought about using my cells to clone an arm for me, but because it was too difficult, I gave up. Xuan said, this problem has been solved. The weakened cells can form limbs. After being installed, it is as flexible as its own. The only disadvantage is that it is not as strong as the original. And this shortcoming will be because of your understanding of its constant training is overcome. Crocodile pondered. That is to say, through our own training, it will recover as strong as the rest? Li Zan laughed. That's it. Aokiji smiled and said, if that's the case, that's not bad. It's just a little more fragile, so I can still use it when I wrap it in armament hockey. I can get used to using ice as my legs now, but why can't I use my arms? Black Arm Zephyr suddenly said, don't rush to make a decision. What's the matter with the other kind of cell? It's not a cell from our body. Is it okay for us to have cloned limbs? Li Zan said, don't worry, there is absolutely no problem. The limbs made by this kind of cells cannot be cultivated as strong as your body. But it also has its own advantages, that is, the huge vitality and the ability to manipulate trees. Li Zan explained. The limbs made of this kind of cells can be injured even by ordinary people's attacks. But its resilience is very strong, it can recover quickly after injury, and this resilience can also affect the rest of your body. Diamond Yoja's eyes lit up and asked, that is to say, if I use this cell to make an arm for me, even if my leg is injured, the vitality that emerges from the arm can heal my leg? Li Zan nodded. Yes, Crocodile asked. What is it about the ability to manipulate trees? Li Zan. You can think of it as something similar to Devil Fruit ability, with which you can control trees. Crocodile grinned and said, one more ability? It feels very good, I use this special cell. Li Zan asked. Are you sure you use wood-style cells instead of your own? Crocodile shook the golden hook where he had broken his hand, and replied, I'm used to using it. It's enough to protect the palm of my hand in battle. It doesn't delay anything, does it? Black Arm Zephyr thought for a moment, then laughed and said, Mutong cells? I also choose this. Although I don't like the heaviness of the Seastone robotic arm, I am still willing to wear a Seastone glove. The strength of the palm is not particularly important, anyway, it also has protection. Qingshang pondered. I also choose wood-style cells. My battles are mainly based on the ability to control Devil Fruit, and I rarely use kicks. I can continue to fight with Ice's legs, not to mention other wood. I don't really care about the ability of the style cell to manipulate trees, but its resilience does. Diamond Yoja said. I also choose wood-style cells, after all, I am a Paramecia diamond fruit person. It doesn't matter whether the new knotted arms are strong or weak, after all, I can make them equally strong. All four chose Hashirama cells, which surprised Li Zan, and Senju Hashirama in the chat group was a little different. Senju Hashirama. Wood-style cell so good, even these people who don't know much about it want it. Uchiha Madara. Hasalama, do you really not know or not? Your cells are one of the most precious things in the world of Hokage. Whitebeard. I am a little surprised that they chose wood-style cells without exception. Mutant Black Emperor. You have fallen into a misunderstanding of thinking. Thinking from their perspective, it is normal to have such a choice. Howard Stark. Yeah, after all, human nature likes the new and hates the old, and likes to try new things. What's more, this kind of experiment is not too expensive for them, isn't it, just to change an arm or leg? If you are not satisfied with the expectations, just change it again. Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. Rechange. Damn it, that's true. They have already lost a body part once, and they naturally look at this kind of thing relatively lightly. It's not a big deal for them to be dissatisfied and change their arms and legs. Something worth caring about. Whitebeard. Master Group Leader, are you going to rob Vegapunk? That's the treasure of the world government. Li Zan. If he wasn't a baby, I wouldn't grab it. Golden Lion Shiki. Gia ha ha ha. So, is the group leader going to start a war with the world government? Doflamingo. Fufu. The group owner can't hold back his ambition and is determined to replace the world government? Li Zan. No, I'm not interested in fighting the world government right now, what I want is Vegapunk. It's really not good to teach them a lesson. Sword God Ryoma. So it is? You replace their limbs to enhance their combat effectiveness, well, to deal with the possible outbreak of the next battle. Li Zan. That's right, besides, I have one important thing to remind you, I'm going to dig you. Whitebeard. Sword God Ryoma, Golden Lion Shiki. Li Zan. You are all talents, it is a waste to put it in the chat group like this. I decided to reincarnate you Cheng Tu and let you continue to shine. You don't want to interfere in the world of the living, I understand that. So I came up with there is a solution, and that is world replacement. Senju Hashirama. World change? Li Zan. Yeah, just like you first Hokage. The world you don't want to interfere is the world of Hokage, right? I reincarnated you into the world of pirates, wouldn't you have no original concerns? Anyway, this world does not people know you. One Piece Roger. This idea is great, I'm going to the world of Hokage to have fun. There must be a lot of exciting adventures in a strange world. Whitebeard. I have no problem with reincarnating me into the Hokage world. Ace, do you want to go to the Hokage world with Daddy? Fire Fist Ace. Okay, One Piece Roger. 3.7 inches Li Zan. I know the graves of Whitebeard and Ace. Where are the bodies of Golden Lion and Roger? Shiki the Golden Lion. I died and impelled down. It should be the corpse collected by the world government for me. Roger was executed by the world government, and his body is also there. Li Zan. Therefore, I will have a fight with the world government, whether it's to capture Vegapunk or your corpses, this friction is inevitable. Sword God Ryoma. Shaw's corpse was buried in Wanokuni and later stolen, can you find enough to reincarnate me in seconds? Li Zan. I'll try it, Madukarya. Can you send me to the Holy Grail world after resurrection? Tohsaka Shiying. No way, Karya, don't even think about it. Howard Stark reminded. It's not resurrection, it's reincarnation from rice soil. Like the living dead, it's impossible for you to be like that lady. Madukarya. It doesn't matter, as long as I can watch them silently. Howard Stark. Sen Dog is really awesome. Li Zan. The Holy Grail world. Good. I just need someone in the chat group to help me see that world and remind me when the Holy Grail war begins. Namikaze Minato. Sir, have you set out to deal with the world government? Li Zan. No, Wave Minato. That's great. I just returned to Konoha with 2 Uzumaki clansmen when I heard that Hyuga Hiyashi and his 2 daughters had suddenly disappeared. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 153 2 kinds of eyes are equally powerful. Hyuga Hiyashi and his 2 daughters disappeared. Lee was slightly taken aback when he saw the news of Zan, and soon realized that it was the Otsutsuki clan on the moon who had done it. Li Zan in the chat group said, I probably know what's going on, I'll go back and deal with it right away. Namikaze Minato was a little surprised. The group owner has long known about this? Li Zan. In the original future, Hyuga Hiyashi's 2 daughters will be kidnapped. But the time is not now, but more than 10 years from now. Senju Tobarama. It seems that because of the group owner, those who started the game moved the time forward. Li Zan. Yeah, because they are of little value to me, I originally planned to deal with them after a while. I didn't expect them to do it in advance, and now it's impossible for me to make them live longer. Whitebeard suggested. Master, can you reincarnate me in seconds first? Since there are enemies to deal with in the Hokage world, it is better for me to clean them up. I also want to move my hands and feet. Li Zan. You? It's not that I look down on you, you may not be their opponent. Whitebeard said dissatisfied. What? Lord of the group, don't underestimate me. Li Zan. I didn't underestimate you, what I said is the truth. If you don't believe it, you can try it yourself. Go by yourself, Whitebeard said cheerfully. No problem, Yi. Li Zan left a clone to deal with Black Arm Zephyr and their problems, and the main body rushed towards the graveyard of Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace. Take their life information and return to the world of Hokage, reincarnating both of them. It's not the same as when I was alive. Whitebeard moved his reincarnated body, which was 2 completely different experiences from being alive. The ability of Mera Mera Fruit is still there? So angry? 15 Fire Fist Ace looked at the flames emerging from his palm and said with a look of surprise. What is this? People who transplanted Rinnegan to Uzumaki Nagato can also have Rinnegan after moving the soil and turning around. Li Zan curled his lips, saying that such unreasonable things are trivial matters. Compared to Uzumaki Nagato's Rinnegan bug after being reincarnated by Impure World, it is not uncommon for Fire Fist Ace to have Devil Fruit ability after being reincarnated. In the chat group, Uchiha Madara said in surprise, if Uzumaki Nagato dies, will he have Rinnegan after being reincarnated? Li Zan. Isn't it amazing? This is the picture that appeared in the original future. After being Impure World reincarnation, he not only has Rinnegan, but also has the abilities that Rinnegan should have. Howard Stark. If that's the case, find someone to transplant Rinnegan to him. Then kill him to find the next host for Rinnegan. Then kill him to find the next one, so as to accumulate the number of Rinnegan hosts, and then put them in the soil reincarnation. Wouldn't that make it possible to have an army of Rinnegan owners? Senju Hashirama accused, your proposal is too cruel. Howard Stark. I know, so I'm just suggesting a possibility. Li Zan. This is indeed a way. If it is really necessary, I will consider this measure. After all, there are so many strong and dead people in the pirate world, and it is not inadvisable to make their deaths meaningful. Namikaze Minato. Master, who kidnapped the Hyuga Hiyashi family? The ninjas of Konoha village didn't even notice it? Li Zan. Remember what I told you about, Sage of Six Paths' younger brother Otsutsuki Hamura? He inherited his white eyes from his mother, Otsutsuki Kagaya, and then passed it on to his descendants, the Hyuga and Otsutsuki clans, through blood. Second Mizukage said unhappily, it's the Otsutsuki family again. It seems that the Otsutsuki family who kidnapped the Hyuga family should be the Otsutsuki family. Uchiha Madara. I've never heard of such a ninja tribe in the ninja world. Where do they live in seclusion? Li Zan. The Otsutsuki clan were left by Otsutsuki Hamura to guard Otsutsuki Kagaya, and they lived beside Geto statue, on the moon. Senju Tobarama. We hadn't heard of them, we didn't expect them to live on the moon. What did they kidnap Hyuga Hiyashi for? Li Zan. As far as I know, the body of the Otsutsuki clan and the eyes of the Hyuga clan can cultivate a Tensigen no less than Rinnegan. Uchiha Madara was not calm. Nani? Tensigen is no less than Rinnegan, and it only needs the body of the Otsutsuki clan and the eyes of the Hyuga clan, and can be obtained by merging with each other? Senju Tobarama. I remember that the conditions for the fusion of Rinnegan are very harsh. It is necessary for Ashura and Indra's chakra to fuse with each other to lead out the chakra of Sage of Six Paths. If Tensigan is no less than Rinnegan, why is he so easy to obtain? Li Zan. Tensigan is indeed as powerful as Rinnegan, but compared to Samsara, it has two fatal flaws. One is that he cannot control Gedo statue and become Ten Tails Jinchuriki, which has far less potential than Rinnegan. Another is that its pupil power is limited. Once the pupil power is used, it will degenerate into white eyes, which is much worse than Rinnegan in terms of persistence. Uchiha Madara. That's it, so my mind is balanced. Whitebeard. Gu la la la. If that's the case, then the Otsutsuki family is nothing to be afraid of. Look at how I hammered them, the group leader, you underestimated me before. Li Zan. Don't talk too much, you'll know soon, outside world. Li Zan took the Fire Fist Ace and Whitebeard into the sky, and soon reached the moon, seeing the huge building complex built by the Otsutsuki clan on the moon. Huh? Damn it. Otsutsuki Chofun didn't have time to change Hyuga Hiyoshi's eyes when he saw Li Zan bringing Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace to kill him aggressively, and he couldn't help but regret it. If I had known this earlier, I would not have hurried to take action. At the same time, Otsutsuki Chofun was also very puzzled. He clearly sensed that Li Zan had left the ninja world. Why did he suddenly come back? Even if Li Zan suddenly came back, how did he find it so quickly? This efficiency and precision made Otsutsuki Chofun suspect that Li Zan had the ability to see everything. No solution anymore. Otsutsuki Chofun sighed. He has no way out now, only one way to go to the dark. Otsutsuki Chofun made seals on his hands, and the power of the large Tensigan was continuously injected into his body, and the two sides formed a close connection. Soon the large Tensigan was suspended above the head of Otsutsuki Chofun, and was taken by Otsutsuki Chofun to meet Li Zan and the others outside. Whitebeard looked at the autumn wind Otsutsuki that appeared above the large Tensigan, and he was stunned. Looking at the large Tensigan, he asked hesitantly, "What is that?" Li Zan replied, "That's when countless white eyes merge into a large Tensigan, and unlike the Tensigan that fits in the eye socket, its pupil power is not exhausted." Whitebeard laughed loudly. "Gu la la la, Lord Group Owner, is this huge eye the reason you don't like me? Let me tell you, he can't help me at all." After saying this, Whitebeard charged towards Otsutsuki Autumn Wind. Shock Fruit's white halo and armament hockey merged on his fist, but as Whitebeard jumped up suddenly, he punched Otsutsuki Autumn Wind below. The silver wheel is reborn. Otsutsuki activated one of Tensagan's unique moves without a word. The truth-seeking ball glowing with a faint green light appeared beside him, forming a circle in front of him and spinning frantically, bringing a tornado and stabbing it like a sharp sword. Whitebeard in midair. Pung. Seeing the tornado spear stab towards him as usual, Whitebeard punched him heavily. The air in front of him shattered like a mirror. The cracks with the thickness of his fingers rapidly expanded around, and the invisible shock wave hit the front in the form of impact. Passed. Pung. The spear formed by the tornado hit heavily on the broken air. After a stalemate between the two sides, the broken air was directly destroyed by the tornado spear, and Whitebeard himself was directly knocked out. Dad. Fire Fist Ace couldn't hold back when he saw this scene. His body turned into flames and rushed towards Otsutsuki Chofun. His burning fist hit Otsutsuki Chofun. Fire Punch. Otsutsuki Chofun looked at the flying fire fist with indifference. An invisible repulsive force bloomed from his body, and the flames in front of him flew out. The golden wheel is reborn. Otsutsuki Chofun has entered a state, full of indifferent killing intent. Green truth-seeking balls lined up in front of her, turned into a long golden line that penetrated the sky. Like a divine sword, he was slashed by his master. Ace to the fire fist in front of you. Ace. Whitebeard appeared beside Fire Fist Ace, and the two of them resisted the long golden thread that fell from the sky together, and then were directly cut off by the other side. Whitebeard Ace and tried their best to prevent the golden wheel from reincarnating, and the remaining power fell on the moon unabated, splitting the entire moon in two. In the chat group, all the members were stunned. Golden Lion Shiki was shocked. "I rely on me. This is not a joke, right? That guy Whitebeard was killed by one move, and even the entire moon was divided in two." The Golden Thief Nan sighed. No wonder the leader of the group said that Whitebeard is not his opponent, it seems to be true. Sword God Longma sighed. "This power has exceeded our limit, and I am afraid that no matter how much we practice, we will not be able to have this power." Senju Tobarama couldn't help but ask, "Master, can Rinnegan really be on a par with Tensigan? I feel that Rinnegan's power is not as good as Tensigan." Li Zan explained 420. Rinnegan's power is not as simple and crude as Tensagan's, but both sides are equally powerful. As long as these two kinds of eyes can be perfect masters, they can immediately have 6 paths level strength. One Piece Roger. The strength of the 6 paths level, it is certain that this power surpasses the Admiral 4 Emperors of the pirate world. Namikaze Minato wondered, Uzumaki Nagato also had Rinnegan, why doesn't he have this power? Li Zan. Because he didn't master Rinnegan's power perfectly, because that's not his eyes. Namikaze Minato wondered, if Uzumaki Nagato has mastered Rinnegan's power perfectly, can he do such a thing? Li Zan. No, I said, Rinnegan's power is not as simple and crude as Tensigan. If Uzumaki Nagato perfectly masters Rinnegan's power, he can use Rinnegan's pupil technique. Uchiha Shisui wondered, isn't Rinnegan's pupil technique the one shown by Uzumaki Nagato? Lee Zan. It's not the same. For example, your Mangekyo Sharingan can cast illusions, see through movements, control tailed beasts and even use Susanoo. These are Mangekyo Sharingan's abilities, not your pupils. The gods are not your unique pupil technique. Uchiha Madara said proudly. That's right, just like the Mangekyo Sharingan, my Rinnegan also has a unique pupil technique, the edge of the tomb of the wheel. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, what is the function of this pupil technique? Uchiha Madara. This pupil technique can create 4 special clones with the same strength as me. They're between the illusory and the real, which can double my strength. Senju Hashirama disappointed, just 4 clones? Lee Zan. They are not ordinary clones. Without the power of the 6 paths level, they cannot be detected at all. Even you, Senju Hashirama, cannot perceive that they are by your side. Senju Hashirama was shocked. So scary? That pupil technique is really powerful. Senju Tobarama commented, if that's the case, then this pupil technique is indeed very powerful. Those with less than 6 paths level can only be killed by clones in a confused way, and if they reach 6 paths level, it will take 1,005. Uchiha Madara said proudly, although my Rinnegan does not have the simple and crude destructive power of Tenseigan, it is not certain who wins or loses when compared with Tenseigan. One is powerful, the other is weird. 2 kinds of eyes, equally powerful. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 154. Your weapon is good, now it's mine. The moon was split in half by Otsutsuki Autumn Wind with a golden wheel reincarnation explosion, and it fell toward the ninja world. Namikaze Minato in the chat group was anxious. Master, the moon won't fall, right? I saw it fall. Lee Zan. Don't worry, just leave it to me here. At Lancelot, give me your knights don't die with bare hands. Lancelot reluctantly. Why? Lee Zan. Just because I can summon your dumb king, are you sure you didn't ask for me? Lancelot. Good, even using my king to threaten me, I will fight with you. It's impossible to fight. Lancelot didn't find the button to fight hard at all, so he had no choice but to send his knights don't die with unarmed skills to Lee Zan. Ding! Lancelot sent an exclusive red envelope. The knight does not die with his bare hands, to the group owner Lee Zan. Lee Zan accepted this skill, his body rushed out instantly, and in the blink of an eye, he came to Otsutsuki Chofun. Court death. Otsutsuki Chofun's eyes showed madness, ready to give Lee Zan a golden turn. Snapped. Lee Zan calmly raised his palm and squeezed his wrist with his right hand, causing his golden wheel to die. At the same time, Lee Zan stretched out his left hand and pressed the large Tenseigan in midair, activating the knights do not die with unarmed skills that he had just acquired. Your weapon is good, but it's mine when I touch it. The large Tenseigan touched by Lee Zan quickly became Lee Zan's property, and the power of Otsutsuki Chofun's blessing disappeared instantly. What have you done? Otsutsuki Chofun was horrified, and his greatest reliance disappeared. I still lack a guinea pig in my lab. It's the most suitable for a lunatic like you. Lee Zan shot Otsutsuki's Autumn Wind with a Rinnegan illusion, which made him faint, then grabbed him and threw him to Whitebeard, who recovered from a distance. As soon as his body moved, Lee came to the inside of the building of the Otsutsuki family, and found Hyuga Hiyashi and his 2 daughters who were under control, as well as Otsutsuki Shuren, the son of Otsutsuki Chofun. Otsutsuki was born without eyes, so Rinnegan's illusions were ineffective against him. Lee Zan had no choice but to use physical means to make him unconscious. Let's go. Father and son Otsutsuki, father and daughter Hyuga, father and son Whitebeard, all of them were suspended in midair by the power of the large Tenseigan. No, they fell into the ninja world with the broken moon. Namikaze Minato in the chat group is a little crazy. He is now standing in front of the window of Konoha Hokage's office, and he can see the huge meteorite appearing in the sky. In the chat group, Namikaze Minato. Master, do you have a solution to the meteorite? If not, we can only rely on ourselves. Lee Zan. What's the hurry? I said it can be solved, then it will definitely be solved. Planetary devastation. Lee Zan in the space folded his hands together, and then threw a pitch-black ball. Immediately, an infinite attraction was released from the ball, and the moon fragments that fell from the ninja world were sucked back. Many people in the ninja world looked at the sky in horror, and the terrain on the huge meteorite was clearly visible. Just when they thought that the ninja world was about to perish, the meteorite that fell from the sky flew into the sky again, and reassembled into the moon in the sky like it was upside down. Unbelievable. Whitebeard and others hid under the protection of the large Tenseigan and witnessed the rebirth of the moon with their own eyes, feeling that some of their 3 views were overturned. I don't know how the moon in your world came to be, but the moon in the ninja world did this. Lee Zan glanced at the surprised Whitebeards and explained calmly. Controlling the large Tenseigan to land slowly, Lee Zan returned to Konoha with 7 people. Lord Lee Zan, I'm sorry to bother you. Hyuga Hiyashi woke up in a cold sweat, and the 3 of them almost became sacrifices to the Otsutsuki clan. Lee Zan shook his head and said, it's nothing, you are my subordinates after all. It is my responsibility to save you. I am not the type of Sarutobi Hiruzen who likes to give up his subordinates. Hyuga Heihachi asked with some doubts. I don't understand, what purpose did they arrest us for? Lee Zan told Hyuga Heihachi about the synthesis method of Tensigen, then looked at the Otsutsuki father and son with a smile. I will carry out related experiments next, I hope you can cooperate. Hyuga Heihachi was stunned, and at the same time said with joy that he would definitely cooperate. Obviously, this is a good opportunity to strengthen the Hyuga family. Hyuga Heihachi is not worried that Lee Zan's strength will be aroused by his own strength. He has fully seen Lee Zan's strength. Namikaze Minato was puzzled. Lord Lee Zan, I have a question. If he captured the Hyuga Patriarch to synthesize Tensigen for himself, why did he capture Hinata and Hanabi? Lee Zan looked at Otsutsuki Shuren who was beside him, and snorted coldly. His son also needs a pair of white eyes, and he also needs a wife with pure blood. As soon as these words came out, Sister Hyuga's expressions instantly became embarrassed. They are so young that someone has already tried to beat them. Pervert. Send them to the lab. Having sealed the Otsutsuki father and son, Lee Zan asked Danbu Ninja to send them to the laboratory for preservation. In the chat group, Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. Master, Iwagakure's guys are a little stubborn. Would you like to show them a hand to open their eyes? Lee Zan dissatisfied. I have to go out for everything, what do you guys do? Just an Iwagakure, can't you solve it? Ghost Lantern Wanyue explained. Defeat Iwagakure is not a problem, the problem is the losses that we need to suffer. If the leader of the group takes action, the losses on both sides can be minimized. Lee Zan. No need. It's enough to reduce the losses on our side, there's no need to get used to them too much. It just so happens that I have two pirates who are very hot on my side, so let them go there to relax. Good. Whitebeard. I'm fine, Fire Fist Ace, me too. Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace were beaten by Otsutsuki Chofun, and they were full of anger at this time, and they needed Iwagakure, who could let them vent their anger. Iwagakure Battlefield. The second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Genue stood at the forefront of the ninja army, and laughed when he looked at Onogi who was suspended in midair. Onogi, you are in trouble now. If you want to surrender earlier, you won't listen, even if you want to surrender now, it's not that easy anymore. Onogi looked at second Mizukage angrily, and shouted sharply. Shut up! Iwagakure was established by Tsuchikage and countless heroes of all dynasties, and it cost us countless hard work, how could it be abandoned? After learning about Lee Zan's great power and the fate of Cloud Shinobi Village, Onogi already had the idea of surrender. It's just that Lee Zan's demands made him unacceptable, so he was ready to fight. If a series of measures to dismantle the original Iwagakure ninja organization, relocate to the only ninja village, and dismantle Iwagakure are implemented, Iwagakure is afraid that even the traces that once existed will be erased, which is unacceptable to Onogi. As for Lee Zan, these measures can eliminate the hatred between Shinobi and Shinobi Village, and help the Shinobi world to achieve peace and unity one day earlier. Onogi said that he could not understand a word, he only knew that his Iwagakure could not disappear. Onogi's current performance is exactly what Otsutsuki Autumn Wind is impatiently trying to destroy the ninja world and avoid appearing on Lee Zan's situation. Too much investment, unable to withdraw. Lee Zan's thoughts on Oyi are naturally penetrating, but he said that this kind of problem is easy to solve, as long as Oyemu realizes that his struggle is meaningless. If Onogi is pedantic and does not change, even if he dies and does not change his mind, it does not matter much. He can't be subdued mentally, it's okay to wipe him out physically, Lee Zan never picks on these details. Flying Thunder God Technique. Lee Zan brought Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace to the battlefield, looked at Onogi and the others on the opposite side, and waved his hand gently, go. Whitebeard strode forward, with a heroic laugh from his mouth. Gu la la la. Come on, fight as you like. Shockfruit's white halo appeared on his fist, and then he slammed it out, and the terrifying shock exploded with air shattering. Earth Style, Earth Walls. A group of ninjas from Iwagakure made seals at the same time, using the same ninjutsu, to erect hundreds of rock walls in front of Whitebeard's shockwave. Boom boom boom. Hundreds of rock walls were destroyed, more than 80, and Whitebeard's shockwave was blocked. Interesting. This is how ninjas fight together. Not bad. If you are really well trained and hundreds of ninjas work together, you can indeed kill people who are much stronger than yourself. Whitebeard's eyes lit up and he said with a big laugh. Lee Zan stretched out his hand and made a move on the ground. The soil turned into gold and fell into his hands. It turned into gold and was cut from the cloud. Lee Zan threw it to Whitebeard. Thanks to the group leader. With the weapon in his hand, Whitebeard nodded in satisfaction. I thanked Lee Zan and rushed towards the Iwagakure ninjas on the opposite side. Fire Punch. Seeing that Whitebeard is besieged by a group of Iwagakure ninjas, Fire Fist Ace joins the fray, punching out endless flames, colliding with the escape technique unleashed by Iwagakure ninjas. This is what I want to live. Lee Zan raised his hand to make a golden throne, sat down and made a golden coffee table in front of him, took out tea and snacks from the sealed scroll, and watched the play leisurely. Thousands of troops and horses are fighting under the stage, I am watching a play and drinking tea on the stage. Although the busy life of running around is full, it is this comfortable life that makes people more intoxicated. There are a lot of undead who can be used as tool people in the chat group, all of them have to be used, and resources cannot be wasted. Whoops! Li Zan thought silently while admiring the battle below. Dust Pass, the original realm peeling technique. Onogi's body was suspended in midair, a bright white light condensed between his hands, and he hit Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace. Old la la la, is it dusty? Troublesome stuff? Ace, don't resist. Whitebeard laughed when he saw the white beam of light coming towards him. His huge body showed agility that was completely inconsistent with his body shape, and he easily avoided the light of Onogi's dust. Damn! Onogi was furious. These two guys who jumped out of nowhere are not only powerful, but also frighteningly high in speed and agility. More importantly, the other party seems to have the ability to predict the enemy's opportunities. Body. Dust. Oyemu suddenly looked at Li Zan, who was watching a play and drinking tea in the distance. The light of dust in his hand was about to move, but he was finally suppressed by him. As an old fox, he is very aware of the current situation, and killing Li Zan will not solve their problems. Conversely, if he angered Li Zan instead of killing Li Zan, then Iwagakure would not simply be history. He also understands the fate of the Night Moon clan in Cloud Shinobi Village. That suave-looking young man has no lack of iron-blooded and ruthless means. Iwagakure, surrender. After a moment of hesitation, Oyegi finally surrendered and accepted all Li Zan's conditions. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 155 World Government is not easy. Inomu, who is old and mature, is a handsome man. After he recognizes the situation, he quickly becomes aware of the current affairs. An old face smiled like a chrysanthemum, standing beside Li Zan with a charming look, completely ignoring the majesty of his own third Tsuchikage. Li Zan sighed repeatedly when he saw it. In the end, it was third Tsuchikage, who kept other shinobi villages up to the 5th generation, and was not at all comparable to 4th Raikage's muscle-filled idiots. 4th Raikage's stubborn resistance is emotional, while 3rd Tsuchikage's resistance is a kind of temptation. After the result of the temptation, he will accept it immediately, and make the next decision according to the result of his temptation. After seeing Li Zan's strong Yamato's toughness, Onogi did not hesitate to let Iwagakure give up his resistance completely, and handed himself over to Li Zan's side like being slaughtered. Seeing his own ninjas being escorted away one by one in dejection, 3rd Tsuchikage's expression did not change at all, and he still respectfully expressed his loyalty to Li Zan. It is natural to be unwilling, but Oyemu didn't regret it too much in his heart. After all, he tried to resist. In the chat group, Uchiha Madara said disdainfully, "This is Iwagakure's will of the stone, what a shame." Li Zan. Don't talk shit about the will of fire is not too strong, it's just a slogan, if you really lose it. Uchiha Shisui retorted, "The will of fire is real, and there are many people who believe in him." Li Zan said unceremoniously, "Other people can trust it, but as a senior of Shinobi Village, you can't. Senior members of Shinobi Village are equivalent to the brains of Shinobi Village, and they need reason rather than blood." Howard Stark. Agree, it's like fighting a war. The soldiers at the bottom can be arrogant and don't take their opponents seriously, but the generals as leaders must pay attention to their opponents. The top and bottom are never the same. Whitebeard. Old la la la. The old man is not interested in these things, but the battle just now was really enjoyable. Fire Fist Ace. Indeed, I held back the fire on Lunar 420 before, and now I have vented it out. Li Zan. Don't worry. Another group of people in Grass Ninja Village have prepared a monster to deal with me, so I'll leave that monster to you to deal with. Whitebeard. Monsters in the world of Hokage. Interesting, but I'll have to see it. One Piece Roger said unhappily. Master, have you forgotten me? I also want to go to the Hokage world for an adventure. Li Zan. What's the hurry? I'll go get your corpses right now, and then reincarnate you as Mutu. The monster in the Grass Ninja Village won't be released for a while, so you should be able to catch up. One Piece Roger. Really? That's great, thank you, Lord of the Group. Li Zan. Don't be in a hurry to thank me, I don't plan to steal your body by myself. There are so many boring members in the chat group, let them be active too. Mutant Black Emperor. Hey, are the group leaders going to the Marvel world to find our corpses, or to reincarnate all the exiles in the Hokage world? Li Zan. Of course it is to reincarnate all the people in the world of Hokage. Didn't I say it? You can't worry about things in that world. Senju Tobarama. Sir, who are you planning to reincarnate this time? Li Zan. The members of the chat group who belong to the world of Hokage are all reincarnated. It is up to you to make people in the world of pirates feel the enthusiasm of the world of Hokage. Uchiha Shisui. I can't find my body, right? Li Zan. Don't worry, you have both eyes with me. If it doesn't work, just clone the cells, it will definitely get you out. Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobarama, Uchiha Madara, Uchiha Shisui, Ghost Lantern Moon, and Namikaze Minato are the 6 powerhouses, and even naval headquarters can make a foray. Pirate World. Underwater prison, impelled down. Looking at the huge building protruding from the sea, Li Zan stretched out his hand and patted the sea. BFDH, under his feet, and black runes spread out from the sea, BFDH. under his feet, and the 6 powerful men of the Hokage world were called over. Attack! Attack! Impel down! With a big wave of Li Zan's hand, the 6 powerhouses immediately rushed towards Impel down. See-through, Li Zan's body became transparent and followed them on a live broadcast, so that other people in the chat group could also see pictures of them fighting. Uchiha Madara. I didn't expect that the first battle after reincarnation was actually started in Otherworld. Compared with the powerhouses of Otherworld, I want to compete with Hashirama. Li Zan. Really? Then you are really in love with him? Uchiha Madara said embarrassedly. It's not like this, I want to prove that I am stronger than Hashirama. I didn't beat him when I was alive, but now it's different. Uchiha Shisui. Is it because of chakra? After Chengtu was reincarnated, chakra seems to be running out. Uchiha Madara. It's not chakra, it's Rinnegan. I was so old when I started Rinnegan, I've never fought a war with it. Senju Hashirama. Rinnegan? A clone that cannot be sensed without the power of the 6 paths. Ha 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 ha. Madara, stop fighting. How about I admit defeat? Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara felt as if his punch had hit the air, not to mention how uncomfortable the suffocation was. Whitebeard said unhappily. Senju Hashirama, you are too rude? Even if you can't beat it, you can't lose the courage to fight. Senju Hashirama wondered, why'd I have to fight? I have no reason to fight. Whitebeard. You just admit defeat, don't you admit that you lost to him? Senju Hashirama said stupidly. Rinnegan is so strong, I really lost to him. I just omitted the process of fighting, what's wrong? I don't want to be ashamed like you. Whitebeard. Puff puff, it sounded like a blade pierced through the heart. Senju Tobarama joked. Ha ha ha, Whitebeard, you don't want to make other people look as bad as you after losing to Tenseigan? Fire Fist Ace defended. Bullshit, Dad is not that kind of person. When Dad was alive, he was called the strongest man in the world. He never cared about this title, he didn't even care about the title of One Piece. The Golden Lion Shiki snorted coldly. Cut. That's why I think he's stupid and blind to his powerful strength. He is obviously such a powerful person, but he is addicted to playing games. Whitebeard said angrily, that's not a game of family. Uchiha Shisui. The impel is down. The defense of the city gate doesn't seem to be solid. 6 ninjas rushed all the way from the sea to the front of Impel Down, immediately attracting the attention of the guard soldiers. What happened? Walking on water, is it moonwalk? Not quite like it. Look at how they don't look like Marines and world government, stop them. Stop. Disobedient. Shoot. Bang bang bang. 1 bullet hit the 6 ninjas, and 2 Susanoo, 1 blue and 1 green, stood up on the spot, blocking all the bullets in front of them. What is that? Is it the devil fruit ability? How can there be 2 identical devil fruit abilities? Run. Before the soldiers guarding the gate could exchange a few more words, Susanoo of Uchiha Madara quickly sensed and swept a long knife towards the gate of Impel Down. Boom. The gate of Impel Down was directly pierced by Susanoo's long knife, and the wind and waves that were set off blew away several gatekeepers next to him. The 6 ninjas slowed their attack speed and filed in through the gate of Impel Down. Invasion. Invasion. When the intruder was found on the top floor, all the guards gathered immediately. Destroy the invaders. A screeching alarm sounded in Impel Down, and phone bugs made the same sound in the stairway. Magellan, who was wearing a black uniform with a pair of black wings behind him, had just crawled out of the toilet when he heard his subordinates report, Deputy Director Magellan, someone has invaded Impel Down from the main entrance. Magellan was furious when he heard this. What? Damn pirates. Where did they take Impel Down? This is not a place where criminals can run wild. Magellan was furious and walked towards the first floor without saying a word. Just emptying his stomach, he is now at the peak of his combat power. In the chat group, Uchiha Madara, Golden Lion, do you remember where you died? Shiki the Golden Lion. As I am, it must be the 6th basement where I am being held, but I don't know which room I am being held in. Senju Tobarama said depressedly. I don't know. Which room are you locked in, don't you care? Shiki the Golden Lion. Bullshit. My heart was ashes at the time. I had neither the faith nor the strength to escape. Why did I care about where I was locked up? Senju Tobarama. Makes sense. Li Zan. Don't worry about it too much, go to the 6th basement floor and look for it. If not, arrest all the officials here, and I will slowly torture them. Gold Thief Wu Nan. Is there no clue for the leader of the group? Li Zan. No, but it doesn't matter, just look for it slowly. I don't have any clues about Roger's body or Vegapunk. I'm looking for the same. One Piece Roger. If you can catch a big fish, maybe you can get all this information at once. Outside world. A group of soldiers fired at Uchiha Madara and others with guns, but unfortunately it was of little use. As soon as Uchiha Madara opened Susanoo, the blue energy knife in his hand swept around, and a large area was immediately cleared. Senju Tobarama, Namikaze Minato and others do not have such strong defensive skills as Susanoo, and they are a little disadvantaged in the face of overwhelming firepower coverage. Fortunately, they are now reincarnated from Earth, and they face hard-hitting attacks that are difficult to dodge. Natural, Devil Fruit ability. Seeing that Senju Tobarama and others were broken and recovered with the help of confetti dust, the soldiers of Impel Down subconsciously regarded them as Logia devil fruit powers. It's not right. Devil fruit are all unique, and the elements of their recovery seem to be the same. Isn't it demon fruit power? Bring the Seastone net gun and try it out? The soldiers of Impel Down talked for a while, took out special firearms that could shoot Seastone nets, and opened fire on Uchiha Madara and others. So complicated. Let me fix them. Senju Tobarama patted the dust on his shoulders, and released the ninjutsu with his hands in knots, Black Knight technique. As night fell, the soldiers of Impel Down were hit by Senju Tobarama's illusion, and were immediately deprived of their vision. Uchiha Madara sneered and waved Susanoo's big hand, pushing the soldiers aside, then headed down with the others. In the chat group, Howard Stark was surprised. What's going on with this prison? It feels too exaggerated. The Golden Lion Shiki snorted coldly. This is the largest prison in the pirate world, and it is the place where the world government shows its majesty. The exaggeration here is probably also deliberately done by the world government. Mutant Black Emperor. This is the largest prison in the pirate world. It's really amazing, and there are many tricks. Li Zan. There are so many tricks. It's true, steel jungles, beasts, hunger, heat, and extreme cold have to build so many wonders in one underwater fortress, and it's not easy for world government. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 156 Madara, you are too serious to kill. Howard Stark agreed with Li Zan's statement. The ability to build an underwater fortress into several completely different worlds is a level of technology that the Earth in the Marvel world does not have. The world government has the heart to build such a fantastic prison for the prisoners. In the chat group, Fisher Tiger made a rare speech. This underwater prison was built under the auspices of the world government, and the world government is led by celestial dragons. I seriously doubt that this prison was built to satisfy celestial dragons. The bad taste, after all, their pervert is well known around the world. Golden Lion Shiki said with a smile. Jia ha ha ha. Celestial dragons really like pervert, and the punishment is the same as this prison. If celestial dragons like to see these prisoners suffer, then I wouldn't be surprised at all. Uchiha Madara. There is a powerful die in front. It seems that there are strong people in this underwater prison. Outside world. The menacing Magellan stood in front of the 6 ninjas, purple venom dripping from his body, and a pungent smell began to fill the air. Having offended this big underwater prison time and time again, do you think you can do whatever you want? Don't be too arrogant, scumbags on the sea. Magellan roared coldly and sternly, and the purple venom gathered on him to form 3 long dragons, and suddenly rushed towards the 6 ninjas in front of him. Poison Dragon. Susanoo. X2 Wood Style, Wood Wall. Water Barrier times 2. Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Shisui used Susanoo at the same time. Ghost Lantern and Senju Tobarama used Water Barrier at the same time. Senju Hashirama used the Wooden Wall. Namikaze Minato. He hid behind the others' rainproof. Magellan was stunned when he saw that his poisonous dragon was blocked. Huh? A group of strange abilities. This is the strength of you to force Impel Down? Namikaze Minato looked at the purple venom that fell around, and analyzed it seriously. It seems that his method is to use poison, and he was just restrained by us. Namikaze Minato stepped aside and put his hand in the venom, and soon his fingers were corroded. After taking his fingers out, his fingers quickly recovered. In the chat group, Fire Fist Ace. The reason why Magellan is so powerful is his devil fruit ability. The poisonous fruit ability is inexplicable to many people. However, the people who were brought out by impure world reincarnation are all living dead, and the venom has no effect on them. Li Zan. That's right. The people who are moved and turned have no physical skills, and the damage of the venom to the human body has absolutely no effect on them. Without the damage brought by the ability of the poisonous fruit, Magellan is a toothless tiger. Fire Fist Ace. Master, can you let me compete with him? One Piece Roger asked curiously. Has he bullied you? It feels like you are very resentful towards him. Fire Fist Ace hesitated. Li Zan happily accepted his old man. Fire Fist Ace was imprisoned in this large underwater prison before he was executed. He tried to escape from here before being sent to naval headquarters for execution, but was easily suppressed by Magellan. Huoquan Ace defended. That's because I have handcuffs from Haikou City, and I have no strength. Li Zan. Don't underestimate Magellan. Even without the poisonous fruit ability, he is not something you can easily defeat. A toothless tiger is also a tiger. It's easy to kill you, a calf, with one paw. Fire Fist Ace. It seems that to verify Li Zan's words, Magellan in the outside world is more and more brave. Even without the terrifying damage brought by the poisonous fruit's ability, 1 person and 4 Uchiha Madara fought fiercely. It looks like he can hold out for at least a minute under their siege. Fire Fist Ace said silently. Such a huge body is really an advantage, it's really durable enough. Li Zan. So I said you are not his opponent, have you forgotten your fear of being dominated? One Piece Roger asked enthusiastically. Master, how did Ace get beaten by him? Come and listen. Whitebeard said speechlessly. Roger, is Ace really your son? One Piece Roger laughed and said. A man will inevitably fail when he is sad, so what can't be said? Blood and tears are the product of a man's growth. Golden Lion Shiki. No ha ha ha. Well said, Whitebeard, you just dote on your son too much. Otherwise, your Whitebeard pirates wouldn't be so useless. Li Zan. Fire Fist Ace tried to riot when he was pressed to leave Impel down. He grabbed a guard's steel fork as a weapon, and was carefully snatched by Magellan with 2 fingers. Howard Stark was speechless. Snatch with 2 fingers? Still careful? The mutant Black Emperor listened. Looking at the comparison of their body shapes, I can imagine that picture. What is going on with the people in this world? The body shape is too abnormal. Uchiha Madara. Is this Magellan going to kill Li Zan? No, give him distinguished heavenly gods. He used to be the top person in charge of the Great Underwater Prison, and now he is also the most powerful force in the Great Underwater Prison. He should know a lot of information that we are interested in. Uchiha Shisui. I am now in the state of Mutu's reincarnation, and the power of distinguished heavenly gods has been weakened. Plus his strength is stronger than mine. Distinguished heavenly gods cannot control him permanently. Li Zan. Enough. I didn't even think about getting him under control now, just let him tell the intelligence. Uchiha Shisui. Understood. Uchiha Shisui from the outside stood inside Susanoo. Mangekyo Sharingan glared at Magellan, and the powerful pupil power instantly changed Magellan's will. Magellan, who was originally scarred and indefatigable, immediately softened his expression under the attack of God's other will. Uchiha Madara pouted and said unhappily, it's so boring. Senju Hashirama looked at Uchiha Madara and said unhappily, Madara, your killing intent is too heavy. Uchiha Madara shook his head and said, no, that's just one aspect. The body that has been reincarnated can't give me the feeling that my blood is boiling, and it's always almost meaningless compared to a real battle. On the other hand, Uchiha Shisui inquires about the whereabouts of the Golden Lion. Magellan replied, not long after Golden Lion died, the body was picked up by agents of the world government. Where it was sent, I don't know. Shiki, the Golden Lion in the chat group, said heartily, the bastards did experiments with my corpse, bastard. Magellan from the outside continued, when you invaded here, the world government and naval headquarters received a distress signal. If you don't leave quickly, you will definitely be blocked by them. Uchiha Madara laughed, world government and naval headquarters? Then I really want to take on them. Magellan said solemnly, I will fight with you. Uchiha Shisui asked Li Zan. Let Magellan continue to lurk in the underwater prison at the bottom of the sea, or let him leave with us. Li Zan pondered. You give Magellan a fight and let him make a gesture of being forcibly controlled by you. Uchiha Madara laughed. Magellan? Yes. Although his size is not as good as Nine Tails, his lethality to ordinary people is as powerful as Nine Tails. Li Zan agreed. That's right, Magellan's physique is also outstanding, but it also depends on who he compares to. Compared with the strong at the same level, his physique is weak. Just use your Susanoo to help him make up for it. Uchiha Shisui nodded and said, understood, Magellan, please cooperate with me. Uchiha Shisui gave Magellan a look, and Shisui's Mangekyo pattern instantly appeared in Magellan's eyes. Uchiha Shisui jumped onto Magellan's shoulders, and the turquoise Susanoo wrapped Magellan's body. Dot for flowers. This body is it's close to the prestige-tailed beast. Uchiha Madara looked at Uchiha Shisui, who was standing on Magellan's shoulders and was as tall as Magellan's head, speechless, and once again complained about the height of the pirate world. Naval headquarters. Damn it, Marine Marshal Akainu slammed an angry fist on the desk, his fist wrapped in black gloves turned red, and hot magma appeared on the scar on his face. Time and time again, the group of scum took Impel down for something. Vice Admiral, the Marine's chief staff officer, said, there is only one Magellan left in the once ironclad undersea prison. He should be able to resist the invaders for a while, right? We also need to send a few high-end combat forces to support them. Akainu gritted his teeth and said, I'll go out in person. Since becoming Marshal Marine, Akainu has seldom done it himself. The feeling of staying in the office all day makes Akainu a little bored, and this time he decided to seize the opportunity to go out for some activities. Crane Vice Admiral asked, need another Marine Admiral to work with you? Akainu shook his head and said, you don't need 3 admirals, just let Momosagi and the tea factory come with me. 1 admiral-level combat power and 2 quasi-admiral combat powers, combined with Magellan of Impel Down, Akainu felt that this power was enough to suppress those who invaded Impel Down. Impel Down. After confirming from Magellan that the bodies of Golden Lion and Roger are not here, Li Zan has no interest in going any further. After discussing with Uchiha Madara and the others, they unanimously decided to take the initiative to fight. A group of people left Impel Down and set off towards naval headquarters along the circular current created by the 3 gates of justice. Walking on the water as if walking on the ground, Senju Tobarama suddenly laughed. People in the pirate world don't have the skills to tread water, so fighting on the sea is not very friendly to them. Ghost Lantern said, isn't this very good? The sea is a suppression for them, but it is a strong home field advantage for us. Senju Tobarama snorted coldly. In this way, there is always a feeling of bullying them. Namikaze Minato on the side said weakly, I think if there is no such advantage, we may not be the opponent of Marine Admiral. As an assassin-type player, Namikaze Minato feels like a good way to go. When he paid Magellan before, he felt that it was difficult for him to face these rough-skinned pirate powerhouses. Li Zan poured cold water on the side and said, Minato, be confident. Although your attack method is not effective against them, you still have the seal technique. Uchiha Madara laughed. To be clear, is Minato not their opponent? Li Zan. It's a fact, Namikaze Minato is a flaky man, but he also lacks in attack power. His strongest attack method is Rasengan. Do you understand the power of that thing? Uchiha Madara. Understood, not as good as a basic attack by Susanoo. Namikaze Minato. The strongest attack is not as good as someone else's ping A, and Namikaze Minato is also helpless. Li Zan. That's right, that's why Namikaze Minato fights Nine Tails so hard. He can't stop Nine Tails from attacking. Although his speed and agility are unparalleled in the world, he can only keep himself out of harm's way. No matter how you jump around, it's no use breaking your opponent's rent. Uchiha Madara smiled and said, not only Namikaze Minato, but also the Ghost Lantern, Senju Tobarama and the others are not much stronger, they are all weak in defense and weak in attack. Ghost Lantern Wanyue said dissatisfiedly, not everyone is like you, with the blood of the Otsutsuki clan or the reincarnation of Chakra, the son of the Sage of Six Paths. Ordinary people have a very poor life, so it's good to have us, on. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 157 Praise the Strength of the Enemy. 3 Marines' large warships sailed out of the Gates of Justice in Naval Headquarters, following the spiral current between the 3 Gates of Justice, heading towards Impel Down. On the frontmost warship, Akainu stood at the forefront with his arms in his arms, and the Justice behind him was rattled by the sea breeze. The pirates of Dam had dared to cause trouble for me at this juncture. Akainu's eyes were red, as if there was magma burning inside, showing the raging anger in his heart. The SSG researched by the Marine Scientific Corps has been successfully tested and has been evaluated as a complete replacement for 7 warlords of the sea. Now this weapon has been put into production. Seeing that the failure of 7 warlords of the sea will be wiped out in his own hands, and the era of the great pirates will also be ended by himself. As a result, there were pirates who broke the Impel Down when they turned their heads, which was a humiliation to the world government and Marine Chiguoguo. When Akainu was excited, it was like being pulled out of power when he was about to kill 5. The anger in his heart made him have the urge to destroy everything in front of him. Unknown pirates, I hope you have a little courage. Akainu gritted his teeth and prayed to Uchiha Madara that they wouldn't be like the Blackbeard pirates. During the Summit War, he went to deal with the Blackbeard pirates, but as soon as the other party saw him, he ran away. I don't know if it was because of the 4-3-3 that he shined in the Summit War. Akainu Admiral, we found a group of people on the seafront left. From the looks of them, they appear to be the ones who invaded Impel Down. A Marine soldier ran up to Akainu and reported to him loudly. Nani? Hearing this, Akainu was slightly startled, and turned his eyes to the left, just in time to see Uchiha Madara and the others who were walking on the water heading towards Naval Headquarters. Is that the Deputy Director of Impel Down Magellan? Akainu's eyes quickly fell on Magellan, the largest body, and found that he was wrapped in a green energy giant with a dull face. Magellan has been contained. It seems that this group of criminals is indeed correct. Akainu's face sank, his hands quickly turned into crimson magma, and he aimed at Uchiha Madara and others in the distance and fired them. Meteor Volcano. Akainu's magma iron fist was launched like a cannonball, and it was an indiscriminate bombardment against Uchiha Madara and others in the distance. The sea is very unfriendly to their group of demon fruit powers. As Marine Admiral, Akainu is naturally experienced in battles, and he will definitely not choose to melee the opponent in this situation. In the battle on the sea, it is the mainstream to use the long-range firepower brought by the strong ship and the cannon to crush the enemy. Otherwise, why would those powerful pirates run away when they encounter Marine at sea? The equipment is not powerful. Of course, a special demon fruit power like Akainu has its own powerful vitality, which is another matter. Magma? This firepower output is almost comparable to 4 tails. Senju Hashirama exclaimed exaggeratedly as he looked at the rain of lava iron fist falling from the sky. Boring. Uchiha Madara snorted indifferently, and blue energy shot up from him, forming a complete Susanoo in the blink of an eye. Boom boom boom. The complete Susanoo stood in front of the magma iron fist rain and took all the magma iron fists down. Although the full-body Susanoo also suffered a lot of damage, he recovered quickly under the endless chakra of Uchiha. Marine. Feel the power of Uchiha. Uchiha Madara's face showed a weak smile. Susanoo, who was completely full, pulled out a blue energy long sword and slashed at the distant warship. Drink. A crisp coquettish shout suddenly reminded me that Momosagi jumped out of the marine warship wearing a marine suit. The famous sword Jinsila in his hand suddenly waved, and a huge pink sword energy burst out. Pung. 2 disproportionate weapons, one large and one small, collided with each other, and the small weapons erupted with power no less than a huge weapon, blocking the attack of the huge weapon. In the chat group, the mutant Black Emperor complained, "It feels really weird to be so small." Whitebeard laughed. Gu la la la. This kind of thing is normal, there is nothing surprising. In this world, there are as many cases of big men being knocked down by little ones. Liaison. Indeed. There is a special giant unit in Marine, and those giants will be beaten down just like the little pirate masters. Senju Tobarama. The main role of those giants should be to clean up small soldiers and form an advantage on the battlefield. Like the tailed beasts in the Hokage world, they can't fight the real strong. Ghost Lantern Moon. Second Hokage, do you want to use water style together? I feel that this sea should be the home of our water style ninjas. Senju Tobarama. Good idea. The group leader keeps saying that the two of us are not the opponents of Marine Admiral. Today we will prove it to him. As long as the environment is suitable, Marine Admiral is not our opponent. Water style big burst of water. Senju Tobarama and Ghost Lantern Moon joined forces to attack. The waves of the sea under their feet rolled, and soon a huge wave surged into the sky, forming a tsunami that hit the three large warships on the opposite side. They have the ability to control the sea? Fuck. Many sailors on the marine warship looked desperate. Without a strong man like Qingshang who could restrain a tsunami, they were completely powerless in the face of waves of this magnitude. Damn it. Akainu looked at the surging waves with an angry face, and the infinite magma formed a huge magma iron fist on his right hand. Akainu jumped up suddenly, and swung his magma fist against the waves in front of him, trying to break it. Innocent. Ghost Lantern Moon and Senju Tobarama sneered. The endless chakra poured into the sea water below their feet, and the split waves hit by Akainu regrouped and pressed Akainu and the three marine warships with greater force. Passed. Puff puff. The other masters on the marine warship also attacked, and the huge sword energy burst out continuously, trying to smash the huge tsunami that rushed towards them. There are too many people on the opposite side, eldest brother help. Senju Tobarama frowned slightly after noticing this scene, and said to Senju Hashirama next to him. No problem. Senju Zu nodded in agreement without hesitation. He couldn't let his younger brother be bullied by so many people on the opposite side. Water style big water blast. After Senju Hashirama's shot, the waves that were blocked by Marine's masters were like eating a big tonic pill, and instantly burst out 10 times stronger than before, crashing the moves sent by Marine's masters at once, unstoppable. Smashed on 3 of Marine's large warships. All 3 Marine's large warships were overturned. Except for the 3 marine high-rises, the others were smashed into the sea by the waves and were struggling desperately. Akainu, Momosagi, and Chagu, relying on the strength far beyond the others, broke the waves above their heads and completed the stagnation with Moonwalk, one of the Marine 6 styles. In the chat group, Uchiha Shisui was surprised. Why is Shodai's water-style ninjutsu so strong? It feels stronger than second Hokage, which is famous for water. Senju Hashirama laughed and said, what I'm good at is wood style, and the wood pass is a fusion of chakra, which has 2 attributes of water and soil. Besides wood style, I'm best at water style and earth style. Uchiha Madara. Don't listen to him being self-effacing, all of Hashirama's escape techniques are perfect. The reason why his other spells are not famous is because his wood style is too strong. Mutant Black Emperor wondered. I feel, Uchiha Madara, you seem to like touting Senju Hashirama. Why is that? Howard Stark explained cheerfully. You joined the group chat relatively late, so you don't know. The grievances between the two of them are very complicated. Liaison. Simply put, the two of them fell in love with each other and killed each other for the rest of their lives. The Mutant Black Emperor said wisely. If they fall in love and kill each other, is the one who wins Senju Hashirama? Senju Hashirama asked in surprise, how did you know that? The Mutant Black Emperor said calmly. Guess. According to my experience, the loser often praises the strength of the winner. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, why? Howard Stark replied. I know, it's a shame to lose to a mediocre or even weak man. But if you lose to a man who is invincible, it is a defeat. Jurong. Tohsaka Tokiomi thoughtfully. Praising the strength of the enemy is the best way to cover up one's incompetence, isn't it? Uchiha Madara. Tomisaka Tokiomi second read. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. What I said was the situation of ordinary people, not you. Uchiha Shisui. There are still 3 good guys who have not been resolved, what should I do? Senju Tobarama said helplessly. They are standing a little high, and the attack range of ninjutsu is limited. Liaison. Exactly, Uchiha Madara, Uchiha Shisui and Senju Hashirama, the remaining 3, you can solve it. Senju Hashirama jumps up. No problem. Wood style, wood dragon technique. A piece of wood extended from Senju Hashirama's body, and quickly expanded into a huge wooden dragon, making Senju Hashirama stand on its head, looking at Akainu across from him with golden eyes. It's coming. Senju Hashirama let out a low voice and rode a wooden dragon ninja towards Akainu. 3.7. Damn Hashirama, that's my opponent. Uchiha Madara spoke with dissatisfaction. They could all see that the strongest among the 3 was Akainu, and they all wanted Akainu to be their opponent. Ha 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 ha. Madara, you'd better deal with the female marine who competes with you in swordsmanship. Senju Hashirama laughed, completely disagreeing with letting Akainu out as his opponent. Since this is the case, then my opponent can only be him. Uchiha Shisui rolled his eyes and looked at Chamai, a small and wretched man among the 3, wrapped Magellan with Susanoo and killed him. Poison Dragon. Magellan pretended to be under control, and activated his poisonous fruit ability with a dull look. Purple venom flowed from his body, forming 3 poisonous dragons outside Susano. Hey, are you kidding me? Dude Magellan? T-Dolphin exclaimed with an exaggerated look, Brother Magellan, are you really under control? That's too bad, your devil fruit ability is really troublesome. Damn, it's pirates, go to hell. Akainu violently waved his lava iron fist and bombarded the wooden dragon in front of him. Damn pirates, look down on others. Momoshage killed Uchiha Madara with a look of anger, and she saw the contempt of the other party in her eyes. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 158 needs a kind person. The 3 Akainu were defeated without any suspense. After all, they are terrestrial creatures, and you can't expect them to play their original combat effectiveness in air and sea battles. While maintaining moonwalk in the air, while fighting against a group of strong men who are no weaker than themselves, half an hour is their limit. Damn it, if it were on land, I would never lose to any of you. Akainu looked at Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara angrily, spraying lava from their heads. However, he has the rune of the 8-sign seal on his body, which restricts his strength, making him unable to exert even 1% of his own strength. On the other hand, the T-Dolphin was finally defeated by Magellan's poisonous fruit ability and was unconscious from the poison. Momoshage was stunned by the complete body Susano, and fell to the side weakly at this time. It's a pity that her enemies are all living dead and have no pity for her. In the chat group, Whitebeard couldn't help but said, Master, what are you going to do with Akainu? If possible, give me a chance to fight him. Fire Fist Ace hurriedly said, Me too. The last time I fought with him, I went through a long ordeal and impelled down. With my weak body, I couldn't exert my due fighting power at all. Shiki, the Golden Lion, sarcastically said, Young man, don't talk too much. Even if you are full of health, you will not be his opponent. And if I remember correctly, he is in a state of residual blood when he fights with you. Bar. Fire Fist Ace dissatisfied. When did I say that I can defeat him? I'm just dissatisfied with the last fight. Although I can't beat him, I'm still dissatisfied. Whitebeard laughed and said, Gee la la la, since you want to fight him again, Daddy can give you the chance. Fire Fist Ace hurriedly said, No, it's still Dad, come on, if you weren't injured, you would definitely be able to blast Akainu last time. One Piece Roger said weakly, I also want to fight Akainu, 15 inches. Lee Zan. No problem. Lee Zan from the outside world showed his figure and knocked Akainu unconscious with a knife. He was going to bring him back to the ninja world later, and let Whitebeard and the others have a good time. Uchiha Madara looked at Momoshage and Shaw and said with a sneer, Master, how do you deal with these two? They are both Marines' high-end combat power, why don't you take the opportunity to kill them? Lee Zan mused. Just like Magellan, keep them with you first. Take control and don't let them escape. If necessary, maybe I'll put them back. The mutant Black Emperor asked in surprise, Master, why do you want to let them go? They're your enemies. Whitebeard. If the world government and marine are too weak, the whole world will be in chaos. The mutant Black Emperor said inexplicably, Isn't it very good? Only in troubled times has a chance to rise. Senju Hashirama. The group leader doesn't need such an opportunity. He already has the power to overthrow the world government. The reason why he didn't do this is because he lacks the power to replace the world government. The mutant He Huang said excitedly, Isn't it easy to cultivate such a thing as power? If it really doesn't work, just recruit a group of people who are willing to surrender. Senju Tobarama. Don't think of management as that simple. People who are recruited at random just want to use you as a guise for their own benefit. If you use such people, your reputation will be ruined in the end, and yours will be affected. Profits, while they themselves eat a lot. Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. That's it, the group owner is now busy cultivating loyal and reliable subordinates. Howard Stark smiled and said, Black Emperor, the group leader is completely different from you. Maybe he is not a good person, but he is definitely not a bad person. He is very kind, and he can't do the kind of things you said. Lee Zan looked at their chat log and smiled, and Howard Stark's evaluation of him was not particularly accurate. Of course, there is no mistake in the evaluation of too much, but he left out a little. In addition to Lee Zan himself being kind, the nature of this chat group also forced him to pack himself a little bit more kind. If he shows his ruthlessness, it will be much more difficult to acquire skills from the group members. He needs a good character. Hokage World. In order to provide Whitebeard and Akainu with an excellent battlefield, Lee came to Zan on the ocean far away from the ninja continent, raised his hand and made a solid island with wood style, and then brought Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace summoning over. Where is Akainu? Whitebeard held the golden Naginu that Lee Zan had made for him, and with a ferocious smile on his face, he quickly turned his attention to Akainu, who was in a coma behind Lee Zan. Raising his hand with a medical ninjutsu healed Akainu's injuries, and at the same time broke the seal on his body, Akainu quickly regained consciousness. Where is this place? Whitebeard, Fire Fist Ace. It turns out that I came to the world of the dead. Akainu's face showed a clear look, and he stood up with a sneer to face Whitebeard and Fire Fist Ace, and sneered, Why, do you want to settle the account with me? Whitebeard sneered and strode forward, took a few quick steps and then took off, the razor slash covered with armament hockey and shock fruit abilities slashed towards Akainu. Last time, due to the negative state caused by the dark injury, he suffered a big loss when fighting Akainu, and his face was knocked out in half. Now that he has reincarnated and is at the peak of his state, he is about to clear up with Akainu and vent the anger in his heart. Boom boom boom. The lava and vibrations roared wildly on the wooden island. After a while, Whitebeard and Akainu entered the white-hot stage. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama said regretfully, "Is this the true strength of Akainu? It's a pity, I didn't get to know his true strength just now." Uchiha Madara also expressed regret and asked Lee Zan if he could arrange for Akainu in his heyday to compete with him. Lee Zan said no problem, no matter who wants to fight Akainu, he will fulfill his wish. Senju Tobarama asked curiously, "Master, what are you going to do?" Lee Zan said cheerfully, "Kill Akainu and reincarnate. Let Akainu be my tool person. If anyone is bored, they can find him as a sparring coach to relieve their loneliness." Fisher Tiger said with a pity, "Do you want to kill him? It's a pity. Although I'm not very interested in Marine, I also know that the Marine Hawks led by this guy are the rare Ishin who want to destroy the pirates. Akainu is not bad compared to other Marines who are not firm in their beliefs." Shiki, the Golden Lion, was surprised. "Fisher Tiger, you died at the hands of Marine, right? I didn't expect you to speak for Marine." Fisher Tiger, "Although I died at the hands of Marine, Marine is just a tool in my eyes, and the world government celestial dragons who use this tool. Akainu's death, in my opinion, is nothing but an excellent tool, it's just the destruction, so I feel pity." Lee Zan, "Although Akainu's firm belief in destroying pirates is admirable, I can only use him with confidence if such a person is reincarnated." Howard Stark, "How?" Lee Zan, "Akainu can sacrifice his partner without hesitation in order to destroy the pirates. But for this, I can't use him with confidence." One Piece Roger, "Can you sacrifice your partner in order to destroy the pirates? It's really the style of the Marine Hawks. This kind of people must be used carefully, otherwise they will be the fuse that ignites the team's infighting." Lee Zan, "It's more than just a fuse? This kind of one-strand person, then his superiors will prepare for his disobedience. So it's better to reincarnate him, you can force him, not afraid of him thing. People like Akainu are admired only by outsiders who don't interact with him. Of course, those who put pirate eradication above everything else are also likely to admire him. The remaining. The commoners should worry that he will destroy himself when he destroys the pirates, his teammates and subordinates should worry that he will sacrifice himself when destroying the pirates, and the superiors should worry that he ignores the task in order to destroy the pirates. Perhaps he can indeed eliminate the pirates and save many people from harm. But his presence is like a fear that can make those who know him fidget. What's more, everyone has a position. Lee Zan uses chat group members as a means of strengthening, so naturally he has to stand on the side of the group members. Killing Akainu and reincarnating is the correct approach, regardless of whether it is rational, emotional or interest. Boom boom boom. The battle between Whitebeard and Akainu continues. Ten Tails Jinchuriki's wood style is even scarier than Senju Hashirama's wood style, and the wood produced is more than enough to build a 1,000-year-old fort, let alone a house. Whitebeard and Akainu fought on the wooden island, and the wooden island rumbled. If the ordinary island would have been torn apart by now, but this pair of wooden islands is still tenacious, and the next high-temperature magma and shocks will be collected as per the order. After half an hour, Akainu began to fall into the wind. Howard Stark questioned, "Is there a problem with Akainu? Obviously they are of the same level of power, even if there is a difference, it can't be so obvious." Senju Tobarama, "It's not Howard Stark's problem, but Whitebeard's problem. If it's just fighting, they can fight for 10 days and 10 nights. But now Whitebeard is not fighting, he's killing himself." Shiki the Golden Lion, "Akainu can fight Aokiji for 10 days and 10 nights, it doesn't mean that his physical strength can be squandered for 10 days and 10 nights. There is also a recovery problem, which cannot be ignored. When Akainu was fighting Aokiji, while consuming physical strength, it is also recovering physical strength." Howard Stark, "Understood. It's like an ordinary person who can work for several hours in a row for stealing and slippery work, and may only last 10 minutes in intense high-intensity work." One Piece Roger, "Whitebeard now has unlimited physical strength, and his reincarnated body also gives him the capital to exchange injury for injury and life for life." Mutant Black King, "If that's the case, Whitebeard is a bit out of control." Baihu 433, "Even if I don't do this, I still won't be able to win. So this time I take it as a way of venting my grievances. After Akainu is reincarnated, I'll have a good fight with him. Now victory has the factor of reincarnation, and after he is also reincarnated by Mutu, it will be evened out." Outside world. Akainu was hit by Whitebeard's punch and armament hockey, who was mixed with the power of shock fruit, seriously injured Akainu's body. Akainu, who flew out backwards, did not use his body elementalization to defuse the shock, because his consciousness had already passed out. Rinnegan, the world. Lee Zan appeared beside Akainu in a coma, and directly used Rinnegan's power to extract his soul to find the information he wanted. "Got you. Vegapunk." Lee Zan's eyes lit up and muttered to himself. As Akainu's soul didn't let him go, Li Zan took out a white seed from his body and injected it into chakra to make it quickly grow into a white zetsu. Using white zetsu as a sacrifice, Li Zan took some life information from Akainu's body and reincarnated Akainu. What's this? Before the reincarnated Akainu opened his eyes, Li Zan noticed the changes on Akainu's body. Rinnegan's pupils tried hard to observe, and it was faintly visible that there was a mass of inexplicable energy flowing through Akainu's body, as if he wanted to rush out but couldn't. Magma, fruit ability? Li Zan moved in his heart and thought of a possibility. Devil fruit ability will dissipate from the ability person's body after the ability person dies, and then respawn to any place in the world. Choose a fruit as a new carrier. However, this is the world of Hokage, and the laws of the world of pirates are somewhat different, and the ability of lava fruit seems to be unable to dissipate smoothly. Maybe I can try. Li Zan pondered, Rinnegan's ability activated, trying to absorb the lava fruit ability. In the end, he really did. Find a fruit and inject the ability of lava fruit into it, and soon this fruit will become devil fruit, stunned everyone in the chat group. Whitebeard wondered, you have the ability to teach? Li Zan. No, this is Rinnegan's ability. Senju Hashirama. Rinnegan and devil fruit are two different things, right? It's not the same system at all, can that work? Li Zan. Two possibilities. One is the influence of different worlds, and the other is the advantage of my system skills. I will have to experiment to find out how. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 159 I didn't see you Zhang. Li returned to Zan Pirate World and found two pirates with devil fruit abilities to experiment. Demon fruit power killed in One Piece World. Li Zan did not see devil fruit ability in them, and there was no way to extract devil fruit ability from them. But after Li Zan brought them to the Hokage world to kill them, Li Zan could see the devil fruit abilities on them, and he could also extract them and give them to others or make them into devil fruit. In the chat group, everyone was curious about this phenomenon and speculated about the reason. Li Zan. You don't have to guess, I think I know the reason. Whitebeard. The impact of a different world. Li Zan. Yes, devil fruit's ability comes from the rules of the world, and it is a converter for the ability person, which can convert the ability person's physical and mental strength into various skills. Howard Stark understood what Li Zan meant in a second, and continued. After demon fruit power dies, this converter from the world rules will return to the world rules, and then reappear somewhere in the world. Li Zan. That's right, because this is another world, this converter cannot return to the rules, and can only stay in the corpse of the capable person. As a Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, I have a relationship with the natural world of Hokage. The energies are one, so the power can be seen and manipulated. The Mutant Black Emperor. This is a good thing. Demon fruit power has the same magical ability as mutants, and it does not have the unstable defects of mutants. After you have this ability, you can make large quantities of ability people. Whitebeard. My subordinate Blackbeard did this before, but the effect was mediocre. This method is fine for training middle and low-level subordinates, but it is not easy to cultivate real high-level subordinates. The real powerhouse is not eating a top-level devil. Fruit can be cultivated, and this thing needs talent. Li Zan. Yeah, and the number of devil fruits is limited, and there are hundreds of devil fruits in the world. There is no value in cultivating subordinates by this method. The scale depends on science. Go and catch Vegapunk. Senju Tobarama. Have you figured out where Vegapunk is? Li Zan. Of course. Akainu is Martial Marine anyway, how could he not know where the Marine Science Force's research base is? Before the world government has reacted, I caught them off guard. Whitebeard. Can you help me awaken Akainu's consciousness? I want to fight him again. You fight yours, we fight ours. Li Zan. When you say that, I suddenly have a good idea. Magellan and Akainu, let's join the operation to capture Vegapunk. Hokage World. Following Li Zan's order, Akainu's imprisoned will was restored to freedom, and he opened his eyes and looked at Li Zan and Whitebeard behind him with a stunned expression. What exactly is going on? Akainu asked with a look of horror. He sensed something was wrong. No time to explain, let's go. Li Zan smiled, took Akainu back to the world of pirates, and then brought a group of living dead to the experimental base where Vegapunk is located with the ability of lion fruit. This is an island that has not been marked by recording pointers and nautical charts. The world government established marine base on it, and set up the research headquarters of the Marine Science Force here. Go. Grab Vegapunk and you'll be world famous from today. Li Zan smiled and waved his hand. The 6 ninjas, Magellan and Akainu, the 2 puppets, went towards Marine Scientific Research Base and killed them together. Inside the research base, Kizaru sat on a chair with his legs crossed, reading a newspaper in his hand, and a cup of steaming tea beside him. Master, you are too lazy. In front of Kizaru stood a big man wearing a red apron. He was Kizaru's subordinate Zan Taomaru and the man in charge of protecting Vegapunk. Battle Peach Maru. Relaxing is life, too much tension will be short-lived. Kizaru calmly picked up a cup of tea, took a sip, and said with a smile. Zan Taowen complained, but I only see your pool, not your jong. Boom. Just as Zan Taomaru was chatting with Kizaru, a strong vibration suddenly appeared, and Kizaru's face suddenly changed. This is the scientific research base of the world government, and very few people know about it. And those who have the courage to attack here are either ignorant pirates or powerful overlords. Kizaru's condescending temperament suddenly changed. He stood up with a serious look and walked outside. He is the one who is in charge of the Marine Science Corps among the 3 admirals. It can be said that the entire Marine Science Corps is his subordinate department. If someone attacks here, he can't just sit back and watch. Akainu. As soon as he walked out of the gate of the scientific research base, Kizaru's complexion changed greatly, and he shouted in disbelief. Kizaru? Akainu was stunned for a moment, then said with a look of joy, I didn't expect you to be here, it's great. Kizaru shook his head and said, it's just a coincidence that I'm here. Why are you here? Also, who are they? Kizaru looked behind Akainu. The 6 ninjas plus a Magellan. Is that Magellan, the deputy director of Impelled Down? I don't know the others. Akainu opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but he couldn't say any of the key information, and finally he could only say in a depressed voice, I'm under control, stop me. As soon as the voice fell, red-hot magma emerged from Akainu's body, and then he charged towards Kizaru and killed him. Nani? Seeing Akainu coming towards him aggressively, Kizaru cursed inwardly, and his body turned into a particle of light and quickly escaped. At that time, the 3 admirals of Logia in naval headquarters had their own strengths, and Akainu was the one with the strongest frontal combat capability, and his positioning was meat tank and warrior. And Kizaru is the fastest one, and the long-range attack is also better, and the positioning is equivalent to assassins and shooters. As for Aokiji, needless to say, Frozen Fruit's ability is a stunt to control the field, and there is no doubt that it is a support and a mage. Come on, Akainu missed a shot, looked at Kizaru, who was dodging himself, and said again, it's difficult for you to deal with me, let alone deal with so many of us. Kizaru glanced at Uchiha Madara and the others behind Akainu. Uchiha Madara looked up indifferently and looked at Kizaru. Without a word, an illusion was thrown on Kizaru's body. Okay. Kizaru's eyes widened, and his powerful mental power exploded, forcibly breaking Uchiha Madara's illusion. People with strong psychic power can unravel illusions with their own psychic powers, which is the case with Haruno Sakura, but unfortunately she did not go the way of illusion ninja in the end. Interesting. Uchiha Madara grinned, pale blue energy shot up from him, and the Susanoo giant quickly took shape. Wood style, wood dragon technique. Uchiha Madara also shot, and a dragon broke through the ground and killed Kizaru. Oops. Kizaru sighed, helpless. It seemed that he had no choice but to retreat. As for Vegapunk and the others in the research base, I can only say sorry. No way. Even if he stayed and fought, it would be meaningless and could not win. Get out of here quickly. It should be too late to call the world government and naval headquarters for help. Kizaru thought in his heart, and his body turned into a golden light and flew away. Don't mind him. The transparent Li Zan looked at Kizaru who was leaving, and calmly stopped them from chasing, and then asked them to bring Vegapunk out. The headquarters of the world government, Marijoy. Between the powers, the 5 elders are meeting. According to the news from Impelled Down, Magellan was taken away after being controlled by the enemy. According to the report of the marine soldiers surviving in the Uzumaki current, Magellan may have been reduced to a puppet, and he was manipulated to fight the T-Dolphin. It's a pity. Although Magellan is flawed, his advantage in Impelled Down is too great. Losing a Magellan is equivalent to losing an admiral-level combat power. Who is better for Impelled Down? It can't be drawn from the marine system, right? It would be inappropriate to use the world conscription to complete the marine admiral system, and then transfer another one to Impelled Down. Not to mention that the whereabouts of Akainu, Chamai and Momosagi are unknown. Marine can no longer lack combat power, already. Martial Marine, plus 2 Quasi-Admiral. This lineup is enough to attack the 4 emperors, but they will be defeated and taken away. According to the reports of the soldiers on the scene, they suffered a loss on the battlefield. The enemy not only has the ability to move on the sea, but also has a very good air combat ability, so I lost. Let's talk about Impelled Down first. There are too many powerful criminals in there. There can't be no powerful people there. In my opinion, it's better to send Garp and Sengoku there. Garp and Sengoku? Anyway, they can't fight for the marine anymore, and there's no point in staying in the marine. In that case, it's better to use their residual value and let them go to Impelled Down to shine. Sengoku is fine, old Garp. Don't worry about that. No matter what happens to that old Garp, he won't be in the same boat as the criminals in Impelled Down. That's true. If it doesn't, we can't believe him. If so, let Garp and Sengoku go to Impelled Down for a while and kill. The 5 elders have finalized who will guard the Impelled Down. They are also anxious about the disappearance of Akainu and others, but it is meaningless for them to be anxious. As the 5 elders who have ruled the world for decades, they naturally don't waste time and energy on rushing, but prioritize what they can handle. Report. 5 elders. News from Kizaru Admiral. Martial Marine Akainu is under control and is now leading an attack on the research base where Vegapunk is located. GG, thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 160. Yes, this time I made a lot of money, Nani? The research base where Vegapunk is located was attacked? No, they're here for Vegapunk. The face of the 5 elders changed greatly, and immediately ordered all 3 Admiral Marines to be dispatched, together with an admiral-level master of the Secret Service Organization, to go to the scientific research base to rescue Vegapunk. The 5 elders are well aware of the value of Vegapunk, and the wisdom beyond 500 years of human beings is no joke. The 5 elders even believe that, given enough time, Vegapunk could create a robot that could rival Marine Admiral. Vegapunk is very important in the future planning of 5 elders, and absolutely cannot allow accidents, so they sent 4 admiral-level masters to support Vegapunk at one time. For world government, Vegapunk is more important than Marine Admiral. If Marine Admiral is gone, you can recruit again. There is more than one admiral-level powerhouse in the world. But there's only one Vegapunk, and there's never been a second one. Did you hear it just now? Akainu seems to be under control? First Magellan, then Akainu, what are they trying to do? Won't the 4 admiral-level masters we just sent out also be controlled? Don't worry. If they really have the ability to control the powerhouse without limit, then it's useless for us to worry. After all, we can't get all the admiral powerhouses together all the time. That's right. Don't be frightened. It's not advisable to give up food because of choking. It's a pity that Akainu, Momosagi, and T-Dolphins are all important fighting forces of the world government. There's no need to be so pessimistic. Maybe their control is not permanent. Maybe Akainu and the others find an opportunity and come back. Makes sense. Vegapunk has a lot of SSG stored there. It should be able to keep him for a while. I hope it's too late. Can't that slick Kizaru stay here and fight with SSG? Don't think about it. How could that old salted fish put himself in a dangerous situation? He wouldn't risk his life for Marine and the world government. 433. Damn Marine Admiral, 1 or 2 are problem kids, just pick these 2 Marine Admiral as well. After all, he is a person who stands at the peak of the world's combat power. How can he have no character? But I think it's not bad for Kizaru to leave there. The person who controls Akainu may throw a mouse at Vegapunk and be delayed for time, but it should be nothing against Kizaru. Taboo. If Kizaru is also controlled. Well, that's also true, it's too risky for Kizaru to stay there. If that's the case, let him and others lead the way. Research base. Akainu and others successfully entered the scientific research base, and all those who dared to resist were suppressed. Soon they met Vegapunk, an old man with a kind smile. Are you here to kill me, or are you here to take me away? Vegapunk looked mild and asked with interest, we're here to take you away. Of course, we'll be leaving with some other things. Like SSG, and the corpses of Roger and Golden Lion. Li Zan emerged from the transparent state, looked at Vegapunk and said, I know you. The new world's strongest, Li Zan, is this also your method? Vegapunk nodded at Li Zan, then looked at Akainu who was behind Li Zan with a curious expression on his face. Yes, I have a lot more than you can imagine here, and you will definitely be interested. Li Zan smiled. I believe, I'm very interested in you after you show yourself extraordinary. As long as you don't interfere with my research, I'll be happy to do things for you. Vegapunk said with a smile, looking at Li Zan with intense interest. Li Zan's complex and diverse devil fruit abilities and the unique skills of those who died during his lifetime made Li Zan full of mystery. After Vegapunk heard about these things, he wanted to meet and chat with Li Zan for a long time, and today's meeting can be regarded as fulfilling his wish. This is the SSQ that I have spent years researching, and they are super powerful forces that can replace the 7 warlords of the sea. After a simple exchange with Li Zan, Vegapunk voted for Li Zan without hesitation, and acted as a leading party to show Li Zan his scientific research results over the years, and let him take everything he could take away. Vegapunk said to Li Zan, as far as I know, your relationship with the world government is not friendly. To be on the safe side, you should take away what you can take away and destroy what you can't take away. Li Zan looked at the scientific research results in front of him, smiled and said to Vegapunk, don't worry, I can take all these things. He took out a test tube containing a light green liquid from his body, and then took out the Sharingan soaked in it. After skillfully changing his eyes, Mangekyo Kamui absorbed all the research results in the scientific research base, including equipment and materials. Space. What is this? Vegapunk looked at Li Zan's Kamui Mangekyo with a look of surprise, which was beyond his imagination. Sharing. After going to my place, this is also something you need to study. Li Zan briefly introduced it, so that Vegapunk doesn't have to worry, this thing will be studied by him sooner or later. Really? Then I'm looking forward to it. Vegapunk rejoiced, asking them how to get out, and said it was close to Naval Headquarters in Marijoy. Vegapunk explained, if it weren't for the proximity of Naval Headquarters in Marijoy, the world government would not have chosen this place as a research base for me. For world government, I am still very useful. Li Zan laughed. Don't worry, I'll send you away right now. Reaching out and pressing on Vegapunk's shoulder, Flying Thunder God technique took him to Li Zan's scientific research base, where Judge, Caesar and Orochimaru are all doing research. Of course, the clones of Li Zan and Senju Tobarama are also here. Lord Li Zan Vegapunk. Caesar greeted Li Zan immediately after seeing Li Zan, but immediately frowned upon seeing Vegapunk, exclaiming with a look of astonishment. Caesar? Long time no see. Vegapunk gave Caesar a flat look and nodded slightly as a greeting. Maybe to Caesar Vegapunk is a foe worth remembering for a lifetime, but to Vegapunk Caesar is nothing but a common science. BFDH, home who is jealous of him. Judge, I didn't expect to see you here. Vegapunk quickly set his sights on Tajiki and greeted him with a smile. They had worked in a research institute when they were young. Have not seen you for a long time. Vinsmoke Judge looked at Vegapunk with a complicated mind, not expecting that the two of them would one day become colleagues again. Thinking of this, Vinsmoke Judge looked at Li Zan with fear. You can do this, and you can even steal the heart of the world government. But thinking of the unclear relationship between his daughters Lei and Li Zan, Vinsmoke Judge's heart suddenly felt a lot better, and even a little proud. Vegapunk. Hello, I'm Orochimaru. Orochimaru and Vegapunk are strangers, and Orochimaru takes the initiative to say hello and introduce himself. I am Senju Tobarama. Senju Tobarama, who stayed behind to be in charge of scientific research, Shadow Clone, also introduced himself at this time. Everyone is engaged in scientific research and will be colleagues in the future. You are busy, just tell my clone if you have anything. Li Zan opened his mouth with a smile, then left with the Flying Thunder God technique. To Li Zan, Senju Tobarama, I just met you at the research base of world government. Vegapunk looked at the clones of Li Zan and Senju Tobarama curiously and asked them what was going on. Let me explain this to you. Orochimaru smiled and told him all about ninjas after concealing the existence of the Hokage world. Vegapunk didn't think about the other world, thinking of them as an isolated country like Judge. Chakra is regarded by him as a special training method because this kind of thing is real in the pirate world, such as Wanakuna's swordsman can use swordsmanship to release flames and other skills comparable to Devil Fruit's ability. In the chat group, Senju Tobarama, I didn't expect to get the Vegapunk so easily, it's surprisingly easy. Lord of the group, what should we do now? Li Zan. The reinforcements from the world government will come soon, let's compete with them. You have already shown your great strength, how can you not collide with them? You are famous now, and it would be a shame to retreat without a fight. Uchiha Madara. And after we fight him, Li Zan, in my opinion, why don't you make your debut as a pirate group? I've already thought of the name for you. The Living Dead Pirates, how about it? Namikaze Minato said speechlessly. Although the name is very appropriate, it sounds very strange. What's more, don't I need to go back to the ninja world to preside over the work? Li Zan. Don't worry. The main members of the Living Dead Pirates are Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. These two will not return to the shinobi world. The others are all headed up and can disband or leave at any time. Whitebeard. Where's Akainu? Li Zan. Where do you need to move to? Shiki, the Golden Lion, urged eagerly. Master Group Leader, hurry up and reincarnate me. Damn world government dares to use my corpse for experiments. I will teach them a hard lesson. Howard Stark. I didn't expect that the SSG used by the world government to replace the 7 warlords of the sea would be a clone of a top player like Shiki the Golden Lion. Senju Tobarama. It's a weakened version of the clone. If the Golden Lion Shiki and their cells have not been weakened, it is absolutely impossible to form the whole human body. Mutant Black Emperor. I didn't expect that the problem we couldn't overcome was overcome by Vegapunk. Senju Tobarama. Correct. Who says we can't overcome this problem? We just don't have the time. If we give us the same research time as Vegapunk, we can solve this problem. Howard Tucker. That's right, we have already thought of the problems and methods of cloning, but we just lack the equipment. It is not possible for individuals to make powerful cells into the human body. Li Zan echoed. That's right, no matter how high an individual's force is, there is no way to threaten the cells and make them form a person. What can really force cells to form a person is the pressure that scientific equipment puts on cells. Mutant Black Emperor. That's right, but the group owner got Vegapunk this time, and also got his scientific research results, took away the raw materials and scientific research equipment prepared for him by the world government, and saved a lot of money all at once. Effort. Li Zan echoed. That's right, I made a lot of money this time. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.